touch anything. Compare that.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll
put
be
something
all right.
down. I've got a mat, a silicone mat on
Oh, there
my.
you go. But this thing won't slide, I'll tell you that. It's not the prettiest bug in the world, that's for sure.
I remember reading where people use Coca-Cola on the feet to
I've
make
heard
the
of that.
bugs
People
stick
lick-
down.
Yeah.
That would work.
Oh, it does.
Coca-Cola? Yeah.
And they used to use that on racetracks for a while.
Can you imagine what this stuff does to your inside?
Coke syrup on it. Make the track sticky.
Oh, this will take a little bit of getting
It'll
used
take a
to.
little bit of practice. Yeah.
But
the
it's-
CW oscillator.
I can tell you that it's already better than the right-handed bug that
Well,
I
I can
have.
tell by that.
I can
I
get
can tell
used.
it's not-
I can get used to this.
You're making music there. So that is.
What have you been doing?
Trying to clean out Grandma's house.
So you got 2 weeks to bug
We got
out.
one of those.
You got plenty of time.
Been through that.
Oh, we haven't got any audio for some reason here.
Getting phone calls from all the, people.
Can you hear us, Bob?
How to make money in real estate.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
They have one that.
I'd love to be able to see the table. I can see all the chairs in the room, but
About $225.
I can hear you really good.
Oh, I never heard that much money on anything.
No, it's. I mean, you look at some of the other bugs that they have with really nice finishes. I get the basic ones with the matte finish. I don't like to have to try to polish them up.
So he's,
You know, the guys that do that with their feather duster shacks or,
keeps calling.
you know, that's fine. But
Hey,
my stuff gets
How about we
used, so.
finance it, we give you more and then we finance it over a few years. No, thank you.
Did you tell him don't call back?
I got to get used to the fact I'm
So,
not on a Kier.
And
yeah. Well, that's right. It comes from here. It's actually,
3 lawnmowers.
I used to bug for like
Really?
I don't know,
I kept giving my brother-in-law
13,
mowers.
14
He
years
kept
when I went to a Kier.
Really taking care of them.
You have a hard time on
They
the
wouldn't
Kier?
work, and
No.
Keep double tapping that one side.
no, my brain just,
So,
you know, I figured it out. There's a complete attachment
There's
between
not
the two.
much to a lawnmower. You
So
Kier.
did you start out on a bug or on a Kier?
yeah, I don't use modern gas.
I guess it's either to try on the bug. Probably either that way than the other way around. I don't know. To be honest with you.
This is the way I have my Kier set up. I've got the dits on the left hand side or on the right hand side like this, and the
Well, you're
dashes on
sitting
the
right-handed.
Yeah, and I'm right-handed.
That's right.
But-
Now, see, now I'm backwards.
No, that's not
I'm
backwards.
left-handed, and so, you know, the thumb is doing the
Oh,
dash.
you're left-handed.
Doing the dash to this, you know, my.
Can you use my? Can you use
You're
this?
doing what I'm doing.
Can you use this thing then?
Oh, yeah.
Not seriously in.
Oh, but you're using your right hand.
Sideband contest last weekend.
Oh, you're only using one paddle. I see. That's a better way to do it.
So, Bob, try saying something again, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, good evening.
I like just
Oh,
using the
man.
single paddle.
That's how I do it on this.
We
way.
got
Oh, man,
nothing
what?
on this end for audio.
Nothing on your end, huh?
You know, I have it when I started out.
Celery?
Okay, good.
Yeah, I didn't put no green ones in there. I never do that. No, you taught me that lesson. Nathan.
I just gotta use it. If you don't move it, it's not gonna do anything.
You got it.
So when is the bug roundup?
18 to 19. The week. From Saturday, or actually starts on the afternoon, or 5 o'clock.
I imagine there are parts of it that are
I imagine he's found it.
No, I think I can get used to this. I think I can make this thing work.
It's starting to come, yeah.
Oh, our water heater died.
You got plenty of time.
So, well, yeah, I'll use it for the month and I'll bring it back
This tank was smarter.
on the November meeting so we can get
Okay.
it back
Those
to,
are.
Well,
to Rob. But
November meeting is gonna be on Zoom, because John is gonna be having surgery.
The whole
Oh.
job's gonna be somewhere near 4,000.
so
Yeah.
where is it gonna be called off,
I
John?
think
or-
the guys are a little
No, he's
bit-
doing the meeting on Zoom.
David's gonna do it online only.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, we're not calling it off.
Saw you coming. Is it gas?
Yeah, we're just gonna do it
Oh,
on Zoom.
man.
Yeah. Well, you don't waste any gas heat keeping it on. And it's unlimited, you just take a
So
shower.
I can see now why there's some of these
Put it to
guys
your
that,
wife, you can say, get that thing out of here.
no. She's very supportive of it. She's probably gonna look at that thing and say,
They
what
want
the
to
heck is that?
Yeah.
But
Well, isn't it completely no name, it's all of it's a bunch of parts that you had laying around?
Yes.
well, I can see why you hear a lot of the beginners using these things. They get the long dashes, and the dots are really fast, and it's very irritating. To
Now, I
listen
got
to.
one that goes forward than this.
Oh, man.
But
No, you sound good on
Did
it, and
is he muted?
you meant it the other night, you weren't there Tuesday, but I actually had this bug on the air that night.
Oh, did you?
No,
You should have sent me an email and told me to listen to it. I heard Rob, he used it. And then another guy
Hey,
who knows
Bob.
how to use a left-hander real well is Mitch.
Oh, Mitch, yeah.
Yeah, he uses one all the time, and he says he's right-handed.
I did the
So-
Baker Fair.
Oh, you did?
True.
Well, with the club?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How was the attendance?
Now the adjustment. So I'm guessing you move these weights on the end here back and forth to speed and slow it down, right?
Well, it wasn't the hammer, it was.
That's
the
as slow as it'll
hammer.
go, huh?
Oh, it he goes, yeah.
Channel 3
That's a
didn't
pretty
say
fast
anything
bug.
about it or anything?
Oh, I got one I got a little one at home that goes about, if you don't doctor it up, it does about 25.
At the lowest.
Anyway, I had
Speed
some
burner,
kids
yeah.
come by and
It is
they
a
kinda
speed
got
burner.
it.
I think if I got to where I could get the dashes down, I could probably get 25 words a minute out of this thing. If I'd have to work pretty fast, but
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with a chip called an MC1492?
Is that the one that's got everything on one chip?
Well, no, it's a modulator.
I'll get it.
Oh, yeah.
how the heck you been doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good.
I don't hear you. Well, I haven't been on the air much lately.
Well, I haven't either. Oh.
I've
I need to get on in the evening for a little bit. Yeah.
Breadboard.
I've been gone a lot. I've been out doing some teaching stuff. So that's what I've been doing.
I've been playing a lot of since 10 meters has been open. I've been working a lot of 10 meters during the
Oh,
daytime.
10 meters.
And
Yeah.
I catch the European guys in the morning.
Yeah, they're coming in pretty good.
I'm getting bored with working them now. This is
Yeah, you know, the thing
this solar
won't stop.
cycle is way better than the last two since I've been a ham. Or as
Yeah.
contacts into Europe goes.
Oh, I know.
I'm just using. I've got that CP610. It's a dual band, 6 meter, 10 meter ground plane.
Oh,
6
man.
meter doing anything?
What's that?
6 meters?
6 meters is doing absolutely nothing. 6
Nothing.
meters is once in a while I'll hear some guys on sideband. I haven't even really gone there much. There's
Yeah.
a group of us up in El Dorado County that we use it just FM, talking local back and forth
Right,
to each other.
yeah.
But as far as any kind of CW or any kind of DX at all, no, there's been nothing.
Yeah, well, you know, that's good. Vertical on the core right now, it makes a difference on the
Muted.
vertical now.
And what else have I been doing?
But John has 6 meters here, so
Somehow we are muted.
we talked about that today.
So now do they, on the,
Maybe
on
doing
the
a 6
loop
meter
that
now.
they have? do they
I
have
tried
any
that
kind of
with
feedback
He did, I know,
or something
Mark.
so you can
JJR.
allow
And he just,
the-
he was so hard for everybody to hear. The one thing you have to be if you're going to be NCS, everybody has to be able to hear you. And bless Mark's heart, I know
Yeah,
he
he's-
was trying. I mean, half the
He
time
just
I was,
didn't have it, yeah.
yeah, it was going in and out. Then I'd get a.
You couldn't hear him either, huh?
Oh no,
I could barely hear him.
Yeah.
But you're half the distance away that I am.
But I've got all the hills. I got that Pine Hill repeater site
You're a lot of modulating.
right out my front window, and it's right between him and I. So I get a lot of multipathing from people
And
off
that's,
that
that's
side.
where the tone
What's it
changes.
sound like on CW?
There's another one that's
There's no such thing as 45 on CW.
Who's that?
45.
Oh, the multi. You know who I used to get multipath really bad from was John, the guy who used to run this. I used to have a hard time with it. Was it John?
To run what?
The W6SFM.
Oh, no, that was Mike.
Mike, yeah.
Silent Key, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
MQL.
Mike, yeah.
I had a hard time. It seemed like I had a lot of multipath
Yeah.
On 6 meters?
on any band.
Oh, really?
They used to have really good, for some reason, we had a good path on 17
What else
meters.
can I tell you about?
But, oh God, the multipathing was so bad.
Wow.
You
I never heard it on you.
Hey, Bob, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, Andy, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see who's out there. Phil and Bob and Chris. Is Chris there?
Chris is in the room.
The-
Okay.
It's a wake up call. Did you break the computer there, John?
Yeah, I did. It was okay till you walked in.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Man.
Those are my redeeming qualities. Have you got a cell phone I can fix?
Oh, I wouldn't
No.
have cell phone. Maybe you're cut off.
Okay,
No, I don't think so.
Bob or Andy or somebody say something.
Hey,
1,
John.
2, 3,
uh,
4,
We're here.
5.
We
We're
still
here.
don't have any audio.
John, is there a way to move the camera so we can capture the off your table?
Video, audio, or transmit. Hold the mic out.
Receive.
Oh, receive. That's nothing new.
Yeah, I know it is.
I really enjoyed your demonstration on that spectrum analyzer. That was something. That's what you call making something from nothing right there. That was,
Yeah.
You know, this guy, Wes Hayward, is a pretty remarkable guy.
apparently so.
That
Yeah.
spectrum analyzer performs as well as an awful lot of
No,
the
no,
HP stuff. Of course, he worked at Tektronix for years.
Well, there you go.
Oh, well, no wonder, yeah.
And, you know, part of his description of building it, he said this oscillator is based on floor sweepings.
That sounds right. If you work in a place like that, the floor sweepings are
The
probably
floor
pretty
sweeping.
damn good.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
It was very interesting. But what was also equally interesting was that tiny SA. I had never seen those things before, and so watching you bounce the results off both those things. I was
Say
like,
something, David.
I wanted to say something.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
finally.
gonna say something. Hey, John, can we move the camera so that
I
we
can't
can
hear
see
you.
your table?
Too many people talking. Do what?
Can you move the camera? Can you rotate the camera so that we could see you and Chris?
I don't know. You sure you want to do that? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that tiny.
All right.
Anyway, are you hearing it up there at all on the TV?
Well, what's the story?
I think all the Zoom participants can hear everybody there at the meeting.
Yeah, all 50 of us, it sounds like, huh?
It sounds like there's probably about 5 of you there.
Yeah,
How are you
yeah.
gonna sound?
That's a pretty good guess.
Pretty good guess. Yeah.
Poor baby.
Okay, but we're still not getting sound out of the TV.
But you
Let me
getting it out of
see
the
here.
computer?
Yeah, but that's not really too
Well,
good.
it's an HDMI connection.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. We do it every month, but somehow today it ain't working.
So, Bob, how are you doing?
Hanging in there. I'm kind of tired tonight, but doing
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. Are you starting to feel better?
Oh yeah, yeah. Now I'm just dealing with all the other crap. But I
Yeah.
mean, I was like, oh man, I had a couple of really, really rough days, and then it took me another 2 or 3 to really kind of come around.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, time's been flying by, and I was thinking about reaching out to you, and I'm glad I see you are on our meeting tonight.
Yeah.
about half of them are not anymore. So what they're doing is
I've been spending a little time trying to figure out my sign up genius thing all over again.
I know.
So-
I know what you mean. Yeah.
shelter.
You laid X dollars away.
Well, and then they were saying that they wanted our state staff to still maintain them.
So, Bob, I'm going to be around. Let's see. I leave on November the 10th.
Okay.
And I'm going to be gone the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
So if I need to do anything,
They actually
probably need to be this weekend, as far as like
Okay.
whatever you need me to do.
So
they mowed all that down.
I'm helping out with an ultra race on Saturday night.
Oh, which race is that one?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back into my.
Is that over there? Is it up here by Auburn or Folsom?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be at an aid station at Horseshoe Bar, and it's the acronym is RDL. I'm trying to remember.
Rio de Lago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rio de Lago. I never worked an aid station, but I was up there,
right way, wrong way, and military way.
I was part of a crew actually
Oh,
one year.
yeah.
And it rained, and I was up there all night long.
You know, there's a possibility of rain Saturday night, or at least there had been. I think the chances of it are going down a little bit, but it's going to be an interesting night.
You know, I went over.
All right. Well, what was that Saturday night?
Yeah. So I could probably do something Saturday morning, or
all the guys coming back from Vietnam, where there's an aviation company.
So you said you're leaving when?
November the 10th, Friday.
You're leaving the 10th, or
so I get to Vietnam, and
but you know, we could probably also do Monday evening the 6th. I don't know if that works for you or not.
When somebody on Zoom talks.
Do you want the Zoom? Do you want us
to? Knew that, I would fix it.
I guess okay. I'm gonna go mute for a while.
That's the way that works.
So when I get there, it's a major who's interviewing.
Yeah, what
and when we're done talking, he said, "Yeah, I think you'll fit in. We'll assign you to our unit." I asked him. I said, "What's the position?" He said, "You're going to be a newspaper delivery boy." 75,000 copies of Stars and Stripes.
So, Bob, you want to just plan Monday evening? Monday evening?
Yeah, let's do that. What time's a good time for you?
7 or 7:30.
Name your time, send me a link, and I'll be there.
All right, I'll send you a link for 7:30 on Monday.
My job
okay, perfect.
Get up in the morning, you have breakfast, you go outside, the duty driver comes to pick you up. I'm an E2. The duty driver comes and picks me up, drives me to the Da Nang airfield. I meet the plane, get my big pallet of newspapers. Those pallets were like 8 feet square, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And so then I'd break them down to various places where they would ship right out of there. So the shipping manifest, I'd have to type the shipping manifest. Then my driver would take me out to all these little remote drop sites, helicopter landing zones. Yeah. And we throw, 50 papers here and 75 there. And then we'd go back to my office in downtown Da Nang at the fire department. It's a city block fire department. And I had a little office there, and there's a little mama's on there that would hand newspapers to the really tiny units who would come in and pick them up. And I'd sit at my desk. That was my job.
Pretty choice duty for Vietnam.
So I did that job for about 4 months, and Nixon was doing the Vietnamization of the war. Oh yeah, right. So they contracted with the Koreans to deliver the newspaper. So I no longer had a job, and I had been promoted twice since I got there. And when that happened, my MOS became war correspondent.
Oh, jeez. Oh, really? So you became an instant reporter?
I was an instant war reporter. And so I spent the rest of my time there driving around the country. I hitchhike rides, either on a helicopter or a water buffalo or a C-130, or most of the time was on gun trucks, on convoys. And you'd interview these guys and send them hometown news reviews. I mean, that was my job. I went Washington on a 12.
Excellent duty for Vietnam.
It was. Craziest day. I tell people that, they don't believe it.
Okay. Well, we can't hear you guys very well, but it's going to have to live with that. You can hear us, so I guess that's a good thing. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you.
You hear us okay?
Type into the comments thing.
Yes.
All right, we're getting no audio now. We were getting it through the computer only. But somebody nod your head. You guys can hear us, right?
Yes.
All righty. Okay. So, anyway, first off, the meetings from last month from our secretary, Chris.
All right, we had 8 people here last meeting. Yes, we did. And John, WBCQBK, gave us a little rate of QHP, 100 years, 50 years, and 25 years. And amateur radio. Talked about shortwave, how it was discovered. We also talked about SAQ over there in Sweden, the only Alexanderson automator still working and still functioning. Here in Alpha Quebec is the call. Anyway, they fire that thing up once in a while. Mike K6LQ talked about the solar eclipse that should be visible on October 14th, starting at 1200 to 1400 UTC. Somebody got a phone call. Anyway,
Hello.
he was going to go up to Nevada, Northeast Nevada, and see what was going up there. So maybe
Hi.
you want to hear about that.
We're in the middle of a club meeting.
From Elko. Let's see.
Samuel F. Morris.
CQP is coming
W6SFM.
up. No, we already did CQP by then. No, did we? Yeah, we did. I don't remember anymore. Yes, we did. We talked about CQP.
Yeah, okay.
And hope to discuss the possibility of doing winter field days with Mike Cavan. Sammy Cavan
Okay.
up in Dutch Flat. Oh, wait.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow then. Okay, bye.
Nobody paying attention to you? Terrible.
There we go.
Let's see here. Talk about Dutch Flats.
Oh, yeah, Mike, yeah, he went up to Northeast Nevada to look at the eclipse. I had to get a report from him. And John talked about the QHD from 100 years ago, 50 years ago, and 25 years ago. Talked about how shortwave was discovered. He also talked about the only remaining Alexanderson transmitter in Sweden, Sierra Alpha Quebec, SAQ, still on the air. They fire up every once in a while. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
I haven't had luck
It sounds like Zoom. Anyway, what else is happening here? We talked about CQP a little bit. Getting ready for that? We had that at John's place. We'll talk about that in a minute. And let's see, what else can I tell you? Yes, Winter Field Day up at Mike Cabin in January. We'll talk about that up at Dutch Flat. And we had, last month on the radio, we had 44 check-ins on the air.
Pretty good.
Not bad. There we go.
All righty. So treasury report.
Okay. At this point in time, we have $8,714.14, minus some expenses that I haven't keyed in because I lost the email. How's that for being technically challenged? Membership-wise, we stand at 55 paid active members at this point. Yes.
Okay.
New business.
What's that?
New business.
What's that?
Oh, I have something to bring up.
Go ahead.
Well, you were talking about Winter Field Day, which is 27th of January.
Yeah.
2 weeks earlier than that is the North American QSO party, which we usually have at my house, and it's still available. So,
Well, good.
if you want to do the meeting for the month of January at my house, welcome.
That sounds fun.
Well, actually doing the meeting at the same time didn't work out that well,
Well, then we can skip it then.
because, no, we don't want to skip it.
But we couldn't do it Zoom. It's like, you know,
Right.
so-
But we can do the meeting like we always do, and then
Okay.
have the
That makes sense.
North
Good.
American QSO party.
Yep.
Because we tried that a couple of times, just didn't work that well at the meeting.
Now you do a regular meeting.
Because we're trying to do the,
Yeah.
trying to do the log and
And do a meeting.
do a meeting with marginal Wi-Fi, and, yeah, it just doesn't work out, so.
Okay.
We can do the meeting like we normally do.
It'll be on the 4th.
Yeah. And then do the QSO party, which we can talk about at that meeting too. But let me write that down.
Chris has got it covered, he's the secretary.
Yeah,
He's got
well.
that fancy new machine.
No, he wants my job.
What's
no,
your job?
I'm a lousy
He just
secretary.
allowed me secretary.
I really am.
I'm not very good at it either. so.
Yeah, but you're still alive, Chris.
You know, if you
Yeah.
get one of
No
those
excuse.
tiny essays, if you get one of those.
I think I'm gonna get the 4-inch. I ordered the
North
small
American
Well,
QSO
what
party.
I wanna tell you, have to be very
North
careful.
America.
Those things are so sensitive.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Blow up the front end.
North American QSO party.
So you wanna put
At
an
Bob's.
attenuator on it
Right.
at all
Then the
times.
meeting
one.
will
Looked at some of the
be
feedback
on
videos on it.
January
Four.
4th.
A lot of guys have lost those things.
Never mind the meeting. What about the
I know.
QSO party? Do you know what time that is? Does anybody know the
Starts
date
at
of
10,
that?
I think, on the 13th.
The 13th?
Yeah, 13,
It's January 13th.
Correct.
correct.
Okay, meeting as usual. On the first Thursday.
Yep. That's right, yeah.
That poor baby.
Mother kitty. Yeah.
Someone complains so much, she doesn't like being.
Okay, now, I don't know, how many of you use 60 meters, but the FCC is threatening to shut that down almost.
Lower the power.
Go to 9.5 watts and,
Boy.
only the, sub-band. And if you wanna tell them what you think about that, how much good it can do, I have no idea, but, you know, at least you can vent. On the ARRL site. And I don't think you have to be a member to go on that, I'm not sure. I would think they'd open that up to anybody that wanted to chime in, but,
Well, I think, cause I did it immediately when I got it, and it took you right to an FCC site.
Right.
An FCC page and you filled it out directly.
right, that's what I did. And the FBI hasn't showed up yet, so no
I was
worries.
kind of wondering some of the feedback I gave them that maybe they would wanna come have a talk with me, but.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
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 Did you mention
Selling out to
anything
commercial
about
interests like that, it's
guns or Molotov or anything?
No.
Enough of that, enough of that, okay.
That said that to
You
ATF.
never know who's listening, enough of that.
No.
Okay. Now,
That's a lot of paper.
the ARRL website for that is ARRL.org/60 meters. Yeah. www, of course, ARRL.org/60 meter band.
I wonder why.
And meter and band has a dash in it. So you can let them know what you think. Yeah, the FCC is proposing, okay, right now we have 5 bands, 5 channels, you're right, on the 60 meter band. The FCC proposal is to wipe out 4 of those and put a sub band in the middle and limit it to 9.15 watts. Where they come up with that number, I have no idea.
Is that ERP or? is it DC?
I think it is ERP.
Yep,
Oh, wow.
That's nothing.
useless.
9.15 watts.
Oh, you got
ERP.
accurate meter.
And the ARRL proposal is keep the existing 4 bands and have the sub band in the middle and leave it at 100 watts. That's the ARRL.
Sub band 100 watts?
What's that?
The sub band 100 watts too, or low power?
What do you mean?
The sub band, how much power there?
The sub band, okay. The FCC proposal is sub band only,
Right.
and none of the other 4 channels there are gone. And the sub band is limited to 9.15 watts, 9.15 watts, PEP, ERP.
Just nothing.
The ARRL proposal is to leave the 4 there, the 4 channels like they are, add the sub band in the middle, and leave it at 100 watts, PEP, ERP.
I wonder why that is. I wonder why they want to do that.
I don't
There
know.
must be interference because we're not staying on
No,
our.
I read
frequency.
something that they wanted to sell some of the spectrum off to some commercial interests for
Well, that would make sense.
something, some kind of high speed, something or another.
Yeah, on HF.
On
Yeah,
60
on
meters, I don't
60
think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They discovered
I don't
a new
know.
way to,
They're also trying
fix
to
propagation, right?
Yeah, right.
have megawatts HF for stock reports on
That'd be short burst.
pagers or something like that.
Yeah, in fact,
On
I
HF.
think that's exactly what they
It's
mentioned.
adjacent to the ham bands.
Everybody
megawatts.
wants spectrum.
Yeah. So, that's all I know about that. Anybody else have anything? I don't know how I lost the audio altogether.
You know, I built another spectrum analyzer.
Did you?
The first IF is at 1150 megahertz. It's 4 cavity channels made out of 1-inch copper tubing, all fine tuned. And the second conversion is down to 10.7 megahertz.
How long did it take you to actually trim those things down, to trim those cavities to the right frequency?
Actually, that part's pretty easy.
Oh, really? Like you'd have to spend a lot of time getting those things.
And I use.
Okay, well, we can say that for the
I use
discussion time,
Yeah.
actually. We have a big discussion time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the next thing is the 150 and 25 years ago from QST.
So I can remember some of those.
Yeah, now, even I can't remember 1923.
I wonder why.
I'm old, but I'm not that old. Not even Chris can remember that, and he's the same age, so something to do with our memories, I
I
guess.
don't think Phil could hear.
Now,
No,
Phil ain't talking.
no.
He's smart.
Okay, so the cover shows 2 young hams pulling a prank on an older operator. They're sitting outside the shack window with a small battery-powered rig, pretending to be DX. I also heard about somebody that did that. They're
Chris.
pretending to be a Russian DX station, sitting outside in a car, you know, with 500 milliwatts, answering him with RU2DUM.
Aren't you too
Oh.
dumb?
RU2DUM, think about it.
Are you?
I don't want that one in my logbook.
I think love it.
Sounds like a Russian station, doesn't it? Sort of.
I actually did that to a guy once.
Did you?
Yeah, a local guy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing on my power control, you know, going up and down.
RU2DUM, is that what
No,
you
I'm
use?
trying to key, what you call. And they're going 15 meters, that could call C2 forever and ever and ever, and I got sorry for him. So I went back to him, and he started sending away, you know, excited. And I came back, gave my name, the fake name. You know.
Vladimir.
Then I came back, I started sending American Morse.
Where were you from, Chris?
1968, I did it.
No. What country were you? Where were
Oh, I was
you?
Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii,
No
okay.
real DX, you know,
Sort of,
sort of, yeah.
kind of.
Anyway,
But
the
not
guy
actually.
said, I can't understand you, there's something wrong with your transmitter or something, it doesn't make any sense. Then he went back to call CQ and I took off.
Okay, and then,
Bad boy.
C.D. Teska presents a brief history of the development of radio amplifiers, pointing out defects and describing them in superdyne. Now, when I first read that, I thought that was the beginning of the super heterodyne, but not quite. That's why it's a superdyne rather than the super heterodyne.
No mixing?
No, the superdyne receiver is a name which has been applied to a new receiving circuit. This is 1923, remember, 100 years ago. No, November, whatever month this is. Almost a year ago, according to this article. So he worked on the receivers to, it was a pretty big challenge to get a decent receiver. Nobody knew much science on it, and it was all trial and error. But Armstrong, who about 1914 conceived the idea of making a plate current resonant to the frequency of reception in the grid circuit.
Oh, good oscillation.
Sometimes inductors in the plate circuit is coupled to the grid circuit. At other times, the plate circuit is not coupled by any other means than the capacity of the tube, which is to say the capacity between the grid and the plate. The next attempt was to improve the sensitivity of the receiver took the form of an effort to develop radio frequency amplifiers with one or more stages of vacuum tubes coupled together before the detector. These stages are supported by the These stages are supposed to amplify the radio frequency before it reaches the detector. It can thus be done very much worth the account of the tendency of the amplifier to oscillate when resonant is approaching. This method has accordingly been generally given up on in favor of the third possible method. The third method of coupling radio frequency tubes consists of connecting radio frequency transformers. Between them, as shown in figure 1, it's difficult to make such an amplifier for long wave work. So remember too that this was long wave was a little above the broadcast band, which we would say above now. It's backwards because they spoke in waves rather than frequency. Yeah. But it didn't work for the higher frequencies. In England, where they have specialized tubes were built, having small elements and having the leads from the grid and the plate brought out in different parts of the tube, so eliminated the capacity of the wiring. These tubes have greatly decreased capacity and do improve the radio frequency application. However, in America, we don't have any.
Well,
so maybe this is why everybody likes things that are imported. I don't know. That's why they buy Toyotas and Mercedes, I guess.
Well, I was wondering about grid leak. How did no residue in the bottom of my grid leak bucket?
You're bad.
Well, it's because you had a hole in it. Did you have a plastic or a metal bucket?
Oh, fucking metal. That's why I had a hole in it.
Okay. Well, you can do that now because they have plastic buckets. But the metal bucket, too much capacity.
You could use that
ruins the whole
for
thing.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That too.
Right.
So Armstrong developed a means of avoiding the tube capacity difficulties by using a super heterodyne receiver to convert the incoming frequency, as we all know, to a lower frequency, which could easily be amplified. Unfortunately, this circuit falls for, you got to remember what year it was too, 1923. So these were all run on expensive batteries. So they called for 6 to 10 vacuum tubes. And this is more difficulty in handling
What is the story with you?
a high battery drain, and especially all those filaments, you know, the batteries go out in no time. And the battery is a serious drawback for that, so that was kind of like too much overhead.
They didn't have Tesla in those days.
No, they didn't.
Batteries.
No,
They didn't have those batteries.
And Burgess.
no.
Remember Burgess
Rail
batteries?
So Armstrong later work went in the direction of the super regenerative method.
There we go.
This method takes a circuit figure 2, so it modifies it so it increases the feedback gradually when having the circuit oscillate. And while this method seemed to offer necessary benefits, we find it extremely difficult to get satisfaction. Nearby signals are very loud, but distant signal reception is lacking.
Yeah.
So later, they attacked the problem. Hazeltine attacked the problem still another way, using a circuit with negative feedback. So we had negative feedback to control the positive feedback.
Is that like having a wife?
Kind of.
Back?
Yeah.
Depends on-
like that. Yeah.
Depends on the wife though.
So I, yeah, depends on the wife.
Yeah. So
You get a nagging wife, that's a lot.
There's a
Control
lot of-
varies.
Yeah.
this completely
Are you feeling
neutralizes
like now?
the feedback to the tube capacity. While the circuit does perform well, it has several quite critical adjustments. Anybody that's ever used one of those regenerative receivers,
Regenerative receivers.
they're just touchy.
Touchy, yeah.
But I guess, you know, they were quite an advantage in their day.
Tremendous amount of gain.
Yeah,
Back,
yeah.
remember the days of the Q multiplier?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah,
The same thing.
sure.
Man, I could pour signals out with that thing, it was wonderful.
So first, the capacity
Rang like crazy, but.
feedback of the tube. Second, the difficulty of securing a resonant plate current. The special transformers were developed. This was given up and was found to be too difficult. A transformer that would cover the band of wavelengths and gave significant amplification per stage. We did not get as much amplification as we did with the one tube, and all those vacuum tubes had to be powered. So it was evident that we must resonate the circuit. It was further apparent that the minute we did so, resonate the circuit, the tubes would start to oscillate.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the negative feedback was a positive step forward to offset the positive feedback of the tubes.
Right.
So it wasn't exactly super heterodyne. So that's what I thought when I first saw it. It was, you know, what they started calling a super heterodyne.
Millie, how you doing?
Hi. Okay.
Brought some goodies, huh?
We had a band called Super Heavy Dragon one time. I don't know what it sounded like too.
Yeah. And it goes on to say that it worked better for CW than other things because you needed the oscillation. It didn't talk about BFOs yet. I guess that came later.
That came later.
They're
Yeah.
used in metal detectors.
What's
I
that?
just learned
BFOs?
about that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Really?
yeah. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, that was 1923.
I have no idea.
Yep.
Right here.
Yeah, 19,
Well, I missed it.
1923. Yeah.
I have a question. What happened in 1973?
Okay, we're getting to that.
Oh,
Okay, not a great deal has been done with this tuner in CW reception, but the results to hold the tube from oscillation for the best CW reception. It's not easy.
yeah. Well, we gotta bring the SFM transmitter live, bring it on the air.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of a regenerative mess, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
just below the oscillation point is the best place to run it,
Yeah.
which of course makes sense. Easier said than done, and you can imagine how thermally stable they were. So,
Thermally stable.
or lack of stability.
It's a contradiction in terms.
Yeah, that would be.
You know, I think back to those early days, and you know, you had this little cubby hole that was your ham station, and it was always marvelous to go in there and turn on the equipment so you had a heater.
Yeah.
Remember those
Yeah.
winter nights when you?
Oh, man.
Okay, then John Miller explains the meaning behind the vacuum tube manufacturers, explaining vacuum tube characteristics. You know, it's funny, my oldest tube manual, you know, is about 1 inch thick, and then one from about 10 years later, and it's like 1.1 inch thick.
Yeah.
There wasn't that many more tubes added, you know.
I just got
This
rid of
is
mine.
60s, early 70s. Yeah.
Well, my tube manual that I had, the RCA tube.
But can you imagine all the semiconductor products if they were in a book?
Right, yeah.
That,
I think I have them.
do you? You're probably not
I
up
have
to
a
date.
shelf about that.
I think they would have to be
It's
involved.
probably outdated, yeah,
Oh, they're way out of date.
yeah. But I mean,
I think the last two got it.
it just bogs the mind, really.
Yeah.
With a 2N3904 and a 3906, you can do
Yeah,
just about
there you go, that's all you
anything.
need, right?
That's true, but then they kept
And
Improving
the power
and
would be the,
so forth and so on.
There you go. Yep, complement each other. Well, I think about the last two were what, New Vistors probably.
New Visters, I remember New Visters.
Yeah. They do too.
Well, it was a what?
New Vista.
It looked like a thimble, a small
Little tiny
thimble.
UHF
Big thing.
tube
Oh, wow.
for UHF TV tuners.
And they plugged in.
Kind of late 60s, early 70s.
Did they have little heat sinks on them by any chance?
No,
No.
Okay, some of the aircraft stuff, the UHF tubes we
yeah,
had.
some of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the New Vista, Tektronix used some of them in the front of their scopes. There were a UHF qualified tube.
All I
That was
remember,
the best amplifier for UHF at the time.
yeah, there's a CW8 or something, a 6DX4, I don't remember now.
Something like that.
Two I remember.
So we
think
jumped
that's
to, jump 50 years
Yeah.
to 1973, November 73. I was like 4 years after I get married. The cover shows W6SFM and W6JPA manning an 1B field day operation on Mount Whitney.
Ooh. That'd be high.
And they also talk about a 200 meters and down. So in other words, 200 meters is what, about the broadcast band?
Yep, just above the broadcast.
200 meters and down.
Yeah.
So that would be going HF. No, that was
they're
way,
going the other way.
that was way after that, actually.
Yeah, they're going the other way. now.
HF was alive and well in
Yeah,
73.
Yeah, down, I mean, go down in frequency.
Yeah,
See,
so
Down in frequency or down in wavelength?
I think frequency, because
Well, if they call it 200 meter and you're going down,
I don't know what.
200 meters and down would be HF.
Right.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know. But 600.
So we'll have to read the article.
Well, the
If you're an ARRL member, you can actually look that up. It takes a little doing to go into the archives that far back.
I can't read it now.
The easy archives are easy, the recent archives, but to go further back, then you have to work a little harder at it. But if I did it, probably anybody can do it. So then there's the theory, design, and construction of a practical antenna for HF is provided in the log periodic dipole antenna.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have 50 acres in Arizona, you could probably do one of those. You know, north, south, east, west,
Yep.
separate one. Well, log periodic, you'd only need one antenna, that's right. You can, one antenna will cover the whole spectrum, if it's log periodic, and you need one, you'd only need four of them, north, south, east, and west.
They're gonna rotate them.
It's like driving by military bases
Yeah.
where they have this long
Hey,
period.
yeah.
Those things are
Or like they used to
monstrous.
have. They used to have an impressive looking, I don't know if it was log periodic or Yagi at McCullen there.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
got?
yeah,
It's
they
a
were
log.
long.
What was it?
And embassies had them too.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They have a big Robic out there one time too, that's all.
Well, this was rotatable, it looked like, maybe it was
Yeah,
fixed.
well, that's.
That was right there off the freeway.
Yeah, yeah,
Right off the
rotatable.
I-80, 80 you call it in those days.
Oh, yeah, that's why they have it.
When you go by embassies, it wasn't unusual to see them.
Haven't done that much.
But really, a lot of them are, really, I thought they were something like a broadband, dipole or something, turn, what those antennas.
The airport, they took them all down. They had the one in
Yeah.
Guam that was
Yeah,
twice
yeah.
as big as the one that was at McClellan.
Yeah,
And
that's.
it was impressive. It really was. It was on the tower that came down during hurricanes, and
Was it log periodic?
it was a log periodic,
Yeah.
and the thing was an unbelievable monster. And
that would
all
be
the day
sweet.
before I retired, they had taken them all down sometime in the '90s.
Yeah.
I guess they're depending strictly on
Oh,
satellite.
they decommissioned,
technology.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Which they're rethinking now.
Yeah,
I think they are.
I
Yeah.
think so too. I think we're gonna.
Yeah, because at the time, nobody could touch our satellites.
Oh, yeah,
That's not necessarily true anymore.
There's not enough space up there to put another one anyway.
Well, that may be, huh?
Whatever.
Getting
Problem
crowded.
is,
Elon Musk has got all the space up there,
they're eating
or
things
Elon
out.
Musk, I should say.
They're what we're for, but
Yeah, that's where they all wanna be.
Yeah. Well, it's all happening in Israel, when you go high tech, it's great, but, we don't have any paper, we don't have any no communication by cell phone or electronic means, you won't get any intelligence, right? So,
Yeah.
it's all on paper, everything,
So then
anyway.
the YL League, the Young Ladies Radio League, celebrated their 34th anniversary in '73.
Wow.
And then November '98, when I started a career change, they showed long shot docked at Point Baker during a radio cruise. Yeah, Alaskan cruise that
Alaskan cruise,
Ham and his son did, and did maritime mobile from the Alaskan Peninsula. KL7JR. So if you want the details on that, you can look it up on the ARRL site, November '98. Sounds interesting. And it has a fun to build freestanding rotatable 10-meter dipole.
Rotatable?
Yep, probably strong arm.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about it from 150 and 25 years ago.
Boy, it happened 150 years ago, I guess we don't have.
Well, you're gonna have to look that one up.
You have to ask John.
And my memory's not that good.
Not that long, right? Hey, figured it out, how many people we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, right?
Yeah,
And how many online?
all right.
at least
We
three.
got
Bob,
Bob, Bill, as far as in person, and Jim,
and Jim, and you and me, that's 5.
yeah.
And online, I know we got Bob, MVP,
You just got 3.
Yep,
is David there?
yes.
Yep, online we got,
It's here.
And that's it?
we got David, we got Andy,
Oh, Andy.
and we have Bob.
Woo. There we go, that means
Those
like,
are the 3 Zoom.
we got 8 altogether, according to my,
So let me see.
Higher
the count
than
for
I
that
have
here.
my height, field math, field
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8.
8. Yeah.
Hey, we have a number.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's always a plus. Yeah,
Oh,
always. Okay, so now we go into our discussion time and break out the coffee and cookies.
Yay.
Cool. We don't have Halloween candy?
Nope.
Say no.
No.
Good. I've been munching on that.
Okay,
stuff.
so what show and tell did
We
you?
ran out, we had 136 trick-or-treaters.
Are you kidding
One of the
me?
biggest years that we've had. Well, our neighborhood is kind of, it's turnover. Everybody grew up and then all the kids are gone and now it's all new families in there. We're one of the last.
I was hoping for some of those little ones. I ended
That's
up
all
with
we
about
had. It
12
was
teenagers.
amazing.
That was it.
That sounds
Disappointing. I love those
Oh,
little
lots of
guys.
like 12-year-olds, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Our neighborhood.
Okay, so what about your show and tell there, Chris?
So they have a
There's
wagon,
a homebrew.
hay wagon with all the kids
But
on it. They
if I
come
could
down,
park
you
the
go to
rock
the end of
down,
your driveway and they come by
left-handed
you.
bus.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And, it doesn't resemble anything, I guess. But-
Well, it resembles a left-handed bug,
Well, it does
near as
that.
I can see.
It does that much, yes. Anyway, Jim's gonna take his rock.
It's gonna take a lot of time. I hope I can be ready for the bug roundup.
Well,
Ah,
nothing like getting in the fire or getting on the air.
Oh, no, it's gonna be all side tone, I guarantee you that. Can you
Side
use that
tone.
thing? Can you use that thing, John?
I use a bug, but I haven't tried that.
I love the code practice oscillator. I think that thing's cool.
Yeah, it's from the
That's one of those
60s.
bud cases.
That looks like something from the sixties.
It is from the 60s. I actually inherited that.
I seen one of those things
When I
somewhere.
was studying for my novice test, there was another gentleman studying for his novice test that was, I don't know, I was 15, so this guy was a real old guy, so
Everybody was really.
40 or 50 at least, somewhere around there, I don't know, about the age of my parents.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was studying for his novice test,
That guy the old guy was?
yeah, and he was wanted to build a home brew rig, and he was working for a living, so he didn't have time. So he paid me to put the thing together. Then he had a heart attack and died before he could ever use it.
Oh my
So
God.
I wound up, that was my first novice rig,
Wonder if that could, yeah.
and this came with it too, and a few other things.
I love it.
Kind of sad,
I think that's pretty cool.
It is. It's a blast from the past.
you know,
Oh, so what
he
did
paid me exorbitant sum, I don't know,
what did he,
$8 or $10 or something, which in those days for 15-year-old,
That
was
was
pretty
some
good
money.
money, yeah, yeah.
so,
Lot of
what
lawns
did he,
now.
Yeah,
what did he pour down here? Did they like pick it up the heat?
those, some of them have 110 on them, some of them have 500 volts on them.
Oh,
AC and
Real
DC.
estate lady.
Oh, yeah.
When the people.
No, they're,
moved and they had to keep.
There's a jack and then there's also terminals that it goes into.
Is it for a heater or for a speaker?
Yeah,
It's not just
where
Five
between
$5
all
a
clients.
month.
Okay.
You know,
It's
every
a
weekend,
steady on oscillator, it's
Yeah.
not a heater.
Well, I know that now.
Right.
You know, when I was a kid, a buddy of mine was helping me get my license.
So who wants coffee?
And he used a regular old AM
I'll take some.
radio
Right over
and developed a little feedback mechanism in there. I mean, the best damn cool practice oscillator you ever heard.
Wow. So what was it?
I never did figure out how he did it.
And some of those cookies too.
You know what it was? You don't know,
Oh,
huh?
God, no,
Yeah.
it's so many years back.
Yeah, yeah.
That was, I was 11 at the time, and I'm no
That's the way
longer
back.
11.
Yeah, well, we want to do anything.
Or I was probably about 10 at the time when he did that.
Oh, wow.
So about 6 months ago, I tried to make myself a cootie key. You ever tried using one of those things?
No, somebody told me to practice a year before you could take it on the air.
Oh man, I would never try to even get on
Well,
there.
yeah.
I used a hacksaw blade, scraped all
Yeah,
that.
it was a good fit, though. I've heard a couple of them, they're good fit.
No, I've heard a few guys on the air using them, and they know how to do it.
Yeah.
So that don't make it great. I don't get it made one, it worked great.
See, have you tried one, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Can you
We're
work
not
on
getting
it?
used to it, you know?
I once made a set of paddles with two little tiny micro switches, and I come across some printed circuit board material that was 1/4 inch thick, double-sided,
Yeah.
and I soldered some, what would you call them? Threaded rod extender,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
rod coupling.
Yeah,
I soldered rod couplings to either one, and the pivots were screws,
okay.
you know, and I had some springs in there, kind of made a great set of paddles.
Was it a set or a single paddle?
Oh, it was a set.
Oh, okay, wow.
Well, back, I had to get some off the '60s when it was feasible to do it. Some guy made a tube here with iambic, and it was 12 tubes in it, 12 AU7.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was up, it was in QST, I think July, QST, I don't know how I remember the date, but it was right around field day when that came out. 12 tubes.
Well, you know, Wes Hayward came out with a design for a Kia that used 3 555 timers.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked like a charm. I made one of those too.
Well, there was 18 dozen different circuits in Ham Radio Magazine, and
For Kia,
Well,
yeah.
it's 555 is a,
it's like every issue there was another keyer.
Yep.
wouldn't be a JK flip flop or something? Couple of
Yeah.
those?
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
And then you gotta have something to, make an iambic. So it
Okay,
goes
we got
down,
water
down,
and
down,
cookies
down,
over
down.
here.
Huh?
Got water and cookies over here too.
Well, water and cookies.
Water and cookies.
I'm gonna go refill my water then.
It's still water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You want coffee?
That's flavored water.
Yeah, it's flavored water.
I just don't wanna be up all night. Oh.
Yeah, I hear that.
I drink half a
drink
pot in the
coffee.
morning and before noon, I'm done.
Yeah, me too.
Forget about it. Yeah, me
I have
too.
some decaf here too,
I
though.
don't drink my coffee.
No,
You want decaf?
oh, that's okay.
I like, it didn't bother me, I didn't have it.
Chris is always up till 3 in the morning anyway.
No,
right?
not anymore.
No?
It
No,
doesn't bother me at
Getting
all.
too old for that stuff, huh?
can't go over that.
Really, that's, yeah.
Now,
Caffeine, it works for me. It really does.
you know how you fix that, John?
How's that?
My lady friend got her a job. And she had to go to work now. Yeah.
That's right. You know, I remember hearing you on late at night a lot of times back in the day.
So I was, wasn't I?
Yeah, and you'd be out there pounding brass and I'd jump on and catch you at like midnight and afterwards.
I had to get up.
That's been a long time.
That was a long time ago. I had to be up at 7 a.m. or 6:30 or whatever it is.
I go to bed
Got
at
a different
11
house too.
and I wake up at 4.
You know that, right? Oh yeah, even in the old house. Yeah, you were, they moved out of there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember we came over and put that antenna up for you. We went over there, me and another guy, and we strung it up across his
One of
old
the
place
covers
over
that you
there.
were
Oh,
bought.
right, yeah, right, you and Steve.
Yeah, me and Tim.
Pollutants over here if you want pollutants.
No, I don't.
Pollutants,
You got on the radio and said, "How's it work, Chris?" And I never heard you again. I said, "All right, hey,
But
we're
like
leaving now."
We're on left off.
Absolutely. I want a low-calorie health food cookie.
Well, you came to the wrong place.
Yeah, these little calories. That hard to break, Jim.
That was fun. You got on that thing and couldn't even get you to say goodbye. You were gone. So we walked out. Hey, Chris, we'll see you later. Okay. He's like, he waved his hand up or something like that.
Oh, you haven't lived there. You have to pry him out of KPH.
You'd been off the air for a while though, hadn't you? At that time.
4 years by that
Oh
time.
God, it's been that long. Well, you got back on the year doing CW like you never quit.
Yeah, made up for it, yeah.
The KPH, you had to turn off the transmitter.
Oh, the first time you went.
Yeah, seriously.
Turn the lights
They turned
off.
off the lights, that didn't help at all. And Chris, unless you're walking home, it's time to go. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, that'd be a long walk home.
I remember,
Why are they picking on you, Chris?
when I was in college, I was sitting there in the computer lab working on my program, right? I was thinking, not everything was tuned out. Started getting really quiet. And about 20 minutes later, somebody said, "Hey, the lights are on, we're all leaving. You want to come too?" I said, "Yeah, let's get out of here." So we got out of there.
Well, my
Did
story
you
was
ask them how they knew the lights were out?
I don't even think of light.
a term of endearment for you, Chris. So that's a true CW man there. Minute we had that thing on the air, you turn on the radio, and it was all
Where
over.
you went.
Boy.
Well, he was born with a straight key in his
Well,
hand.
and he made a contact
Bug
immediately.
later.
He made a contact
Right, Chris?
immediately.
Right up where I left off again.
I think I told you guys about the 10-meter thing I tried to do. Our club has a 10-meter net, you know, so that
Oh, yeah, that
guys that don't have a general license can get on it. Anyway, The problem with 10 meters is it's basically line of sight.
It is.
Right.
It's
And that's why I quit checking into it, because up in the foothills, I wasn't hearing, I could hear you when you NCS on that, don't you?
No.
Oh, okay, well, I can hear Carol, and there's another guy in El Dorado Hills.
Right.
Yeah, he was the one that you could
Bill.
always hear.
Yeah, but the rest, I couldn't hardly hear anything.
Well, so I was trying to figure out what can we do to make it easy for guys to get this, because everybody's got HOA nonsense. And I got to thinking about it. You can make a vertical antenna out of a piece of coax. You put a toroid quarter wavelength down the shield, and then the center conductor, you run another quarter wavelength up. And it's a perfect vertical antenna. And then you have to support it. So I thought, well, why not just take some balloons, fill them full of helium. So I did that. We made one of these things that went in the backyard. We send the balloon up, and I get on the horn. I called Carol. I said, Carol, see if you can hear me. I was like S9. Everything was wonderful. And then a guy from Mississippi chimed in. About 10 seconds later, the balloon burst. That was the end of it. But it was a perfect solution, because all you need is that little RG174U.
Yeah.
100 feet of RG174U, and a balloon, and you're on the air for 10 meters. Pretty simple.
So why did it burn?
It was an old balloon.
Oh, some of the CCNRs and those kind of flags, people that would actually complain about that if they ever even saw you doing it. Some of them are really, really strict. They don't want to see an antenna of any kind, balloon or otherwise. Glad I don't have that problem.
I live in a really restricted HOA area. And the reason it's so restricted, around where we live, there's a number of private streets. And the HOA is responsible for the street maintenance. So if you live on one of those streets, you got fairly high HOA fees. Fortunately, we're on a city street, or county street. So, and they're always looking, they're always looking for anything going on. So in my yard, I have a pair of phased verticals on 40. I have an 80 meter horizontal J-pole. Horizontal J-pole.
Yeah.
And then I have a N6BT vertical chimney mounted that's 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20.
Yeah.
And then I have a 30 meter inverted V. There's never been a single.
How long is that 80 meter J-pole?
It's about 130 feet.
Or it's a horizontal.
Yeah.
So you're not running it in a straight line then?
Running down the fence line.
Oh, cool. All right.
And when I first put it up, I used open ladder line to make the quarter wave matching section. And I got to thinking about it. So, you don't have to use that. You just need a quarter wave matching section. So I tried it with a piece of RG6 TV coax.
Yeah.
So you short one end and you come up and tap it at the 50 ohm point, feed the antenna, work like a charm. I mean, you can get to like 1.03 to 1.
Can't beat that.
And then I got to thinking about it. I said, if I just used an end-fed 49 to 1 transformer, it'll work not only at 80, 40, and 20, and it does. So I've had 3 different versions of the same 80 meter horizontal J-pole. Don't you just love that?
Hey, you're on the air with it.
Yeah.
80 meter J-pole, horizontal.
It works.
Just different.
Well, who cares you can't get on the air, right?
Probably.
You've got a pretty big backyard, though. I've heard a lot of folks,
Not that big.
Have a little bitty focus stamp. Maybe.
Have to go down, across, and back to get my resonant length. Just different. If you think about it, you can come up with a way.
You can. Yeah.
I just put what Bob did, and you'll get all kinds of friends. FIR, yeah, that was real nice.
It usually does. Sometimes it just won't tune on
Then you were
40.
staying in the air.
It won't
What
tune on 40.
bands? What, you got three
Tune on
on them?
40.
Did you ever get it to run, work
It
properly?
works fine when the weather's warm. When there's,
Oh, it's a warm weather.
when there's rain or a lot of cold and fog, it won't tune on 40. I don't know what the deal is.
Condensation.
Yeah, so if you got, maybe somewhere in there, you got it, where the factory thing.
It almost has to be condensation.
Well, the last time I was up there, I forgot to check the drain holes and see if it's,
Oh.
unplugged or something like that. So that's the next time I go up there to lube it or do some kind of.
Yeah, with my CL33, you keep them oriented right, make sure they're all facing down. Crap still gets in there.
I know.
You gotta.
P33 the grade and
It is. Mine is sitting. It's tied up and sitting on my
You
fence
could
right now.
easily do a slope or
pretty
anything
low
of that
maintenance,
sort.
and you just, talking about that antenna is, if you get the junior model, you can put the big traps on it. You can't do that with the high gain one.
Well, I've got the 12 and the 17 meter kit for it, but I haven't put them on because I'm not going to be able. El Dorado County makes it so difficult to put up a tower, especially if you're in a residential area. So I'm not even going to try. Everything is up on masts on the top of my house. Works pretty good.
I've got a TA33 on my old house. It's still there.
TA33, that design's been around forever.
Yeah.
I need to take it apart.
There was a TA33 Junior too, wasn't there?
I have the TH3 Junior that I used for a while. That was a good antenna. It really worked well. I'm surprised. Couldn't get too much power through it, but other than that, it was performed very well.
And the last radio I used on that antenna was a 930. Kenwood 930.
Yeah, 930. A million of them out there still.
Yeah.
It has very little to do with the radio. It's
Right.
everything
No,
about the antenna.
yes.
It's like hi-fi, stereo. It's all about the speaker.
Oh yeah. You have the biggest stereo system in the world. You have little crap speakers, and it isn't.
It's all about
Isn't
the
that amazing?
transducer.
People used to listen to hi-fi, high-end stuff, and now they get these little cell phones, release the music on their cell phone now.
Yeah, they put those little earbuds, but those little earbuds, the quality of the sound coming out of those.
They've done pretty good.
Pretty impressive.
It is.
The acoustic engineering is phenomenal.
Oh.
And they're all running Class D amplifier design, which is like a switch mode power
Oh,
supply.
Class E, yeah. Oh,
D.
that's about what, 90%? Class D, Class D?
It's really weird how they do it.
You won't get warm.
There's a guy I met down at those Silicon Valley swap meets. Gotta think of his name here, but he was the audio engineer for Apple. He designed all the circuitry for Apple phones and computers.
Really?
You talk about a brilliant guy.
Oh, yeah.
He understood that stuff.
I got a whole book on that stuff, digital audio, how it works, and yeah.
It's a different world.
So what did you start to say about another spectrum analyzer?
Well, after I built the first one, I decided I needed something else. There's a design, and you can find it online. It's called Scotty's Spectrum Analyzer.
That big, about that thick.
And it'll go to 3 gigahertz.
And what bands does it give you?
3 gigahertz.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And it's all done with
Transceiver.
tiny surface mount parts.
Yeah, we're thinking,
Tiny surface.
A lot of fun for, some parts on the air, that kind of
The
stuff like
first
that.
IF is a 4-cavity
Did you get one of those?
IF filter. And to make the filter, you take, I think it was 1-inch copper tubing, and I think they're about an inch
That would
and a half
make me do
tall.
it though.
And you line up the 4 of them, and you need a piece of copper plate to go on the top and the bottom. And you use set screws to tune the stages of the filter.
The paddles turn upside down so that they
all the
sit flat,
oscillators
or that you turn them over and then
are
they lift
phase
up so you
loops.
work them
saw those
That
in an
are
advertisement,
controlled
I can't remember.
off-
You
the-
haven't seen the
Or I
advertisement
thought
with
it
parallel
was, maybe it was
bus?
an ARRL thing they were
Yeah.
talking about.
Probably,
Because
Yeah, this just
right?
came
I'm
out.
sorry.
Isn't it like
It
500,
came before Pacificon.
it's like a half a watt or something like that?
What did you
I
say?
thought it was 5 watts.
Oh, really?
Chris,
Yep,
repeat.
repeat.
Yeah.
Oh. I say, I assume these, they're all separated, right? All these cages are isolated?
Oh, yeah, they're all in separate little enclosures.
Yeah, oh boy. That's-
And all
That's when you find
interconnected
the
with
Hayward.
SMA connectors. I think there's like, maybe a dozen separate little modules.
Yeah.
But the thing worked incredibly well.
How can they really, is it
Took me
clean?
forever. I'm sorry.
Is it really clean, like that old one you have?
Pretty
Right,
damn
Dave?
clean, pretty damn clean.
Really?
Do nice sweeps. And actually it was four function. It was a network analyzer and a spectrum analyzer, and it had built-in troubleshooting circuitry within the design. So as you built it, you could test the stage with.
That's the only way to
with
go on
Diagnostic,
something like
like
that.
He's good.
Otherwise, you'd never figure it out. Something went
It's
wrong.
pretty involved, and it's, what am I trying to say? Computer port.
What do you guys, you tell the board and stuff, and you, build it up?
A guy actually had laid out the boards. In fact, I still have some of the boards, little tiny surface mount stuff. And I've done a lot of surface mount over the years, but some of the
Small,
stuff
huh?
was so tiny. In fact, you know that tiny SA,
Yeah.
there's a attenuator module inside of it. And Carol smoked the
I was gonna say,
attenuator
it's
module.
probably not enough.
She smoked it, uh-oh.
Anyway, she brought it over to me, and I was able to change out that module and fix her
It was the attenuator that burned out in it, that,
yes.
because she overran, okay.
Well, that's why you put the attenuator on the front.
And every little feedback that I've seen on those things, that's the biggest complaint. About half the people that I've read on those things have smoked them that way. Too much input.
And they're worthless. I mean, trying to repair one of those things is incredible. Well, it's like that stuff I did for Lynette.
Yeah.
Those
Rig experts.
the rig expert.
Yeah.
I was repairing those for a while. And most of it's not too bad, but you got into some of those units, that stuff was so hard to get to. Everything's done with a microscope. I mean,
I don't know.
and my hands aren't up to that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they make everything with the intent that it's to be thrown away.
Oh,
If it goes
absolutely.
bad.
Well, it is,
They're
but-
making them disposable.
But
now.
not only that, you
No.
can't get the performance without going to those little tiny packages to minimize the parasitic inductance and capacitance.
It's just like they were talking about 100 years ago, literally,
Yeah,
with the
right,
grid circuits.
yeah.
That's
And
exactly
I guess
right.
that's why,
Nothing changed, huh?
I think I had a radio that had, first receiver I had actually on the air. The receiver was an old Scott receiver, chrome plated,
Oh, yeah.
and it had the grids on top caps.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That wasn't unusual.
But that had to
in
be
those
for
days.
the reduced capacitance.
I think that was part of it. And the ease of assembly of those vacuum tubes. There was some pretty exotic stuff done in those days.
Yeah, that was my first receiver with a homebrew converter on it.
Yeah, I was
What do
gonna
you
say,
do for vehicle?
probably had a converter.
Yeah. Here's a big old thing, chrome plated.
Ooh,
Well, I remember
you're
I was a
traveling
kid,
in a high end.
I took a transistor radio and I coupled it to the radio, another radio I had, and I would get a beat oscillator out of it. I didn't know what that was, but I said, wow, I just made a BFO.
Yeah, you did.
It wasn't very good, but
I had
it
to add a BFO to that thing too.
didn't have enough signal injection, you know. But it did work. The dog didn't like it, he thought it was how.
I imagine every dog in the neighborhood is like that. There's a lot of interesting stuff.
Say, gentlemen, I'm out of here. 73's to all.
Anything, you know. If you don't
Take
know
care.
anything,
Have a good night, Andy.
You find out,
Good night.
wow.
Oh, yeah, a lot of that stuff I tried to make. I was probably grammar school, junior high. And most of
It was hard
never
to
worked.
do.
Most of it never worked because
Well, half the problem.
I put a
with
coil
building
in there,
radios-
some of it wasn't right, anywhere near.
Right.
We
Right.
You had no measurement equipment.
Yeah.
No,
If you were lucky, you had a vacuum tube.
I did have that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Wow.
I got one of those for
that-
Christmas one year.
Yeah, I did too. I got one for
The Heath
Christmas.
Kit IM10, I still got it out there.
Oh, yeah.
No, mine was an earlier model. What was it?
But as far as measuring impedance, I don't know.
Oh, no, there was nothing.
There's
And,
nothing.
and the guys you envied were the ones that had a grid dip meter.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
If you
popular.
had a grid dip meter, you
You
were
were in
gone.
heaven. Oh, you can do all kinds
Yeah.
of things. You can.
It's funny because they go for pennies on the swap nets these days.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I have two of them. They're,
Yeah, me too.
they're,
What were the military ones that they
they're
had?
Miller.
Yeah, they were great.
Was it
Miller.
Miller?
Yeah.
God, they were gorgeous. They're
Beautiful
still
meter.
gorgeous.
Yeah, nice meter movement in them.
Yep,
Yep,
Okay.
good vernier. Oh, yeah.
yeah, pretty neat stuff. And actually, in fact, I think John was there, with that nano VNA, I came up with a gadget that you can use to measure resonance, just like the old grid dip meter.
Yeah, I know.
You remember that? Did I showed that to you?
Yeah, I took notes on that now, I don't know where they were.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Well, you know, if you've got an LC circuit, you want to measure the resonance. Most VNAs can't give you that answer. Unless you hook it up series resonant. You can do it series resonant, you can find it. But if you're using it connected in parallel resonance, you can't measure the resonant frequency of it.
No.
But this little gadget, it's a Wes Hayward thing. It's nothing more than a torrid and two little loop coils.
Oh, yeah, coupling. Yeah, there you go.
And you unbalance the bridge.
Huh.
And it measures the imbalance. It's a simple thing to make.
Wow. So when the bridge is balanced, you've got your,
You've got your resonance point.
yeah.
And
Yeah, with the crystal.
it will work with ferrite torids. You can actually just loosely couple to those torids and measure those resonances.
Wow. What do you mean, measure what it,
The shell shielded torids.
yeah. Ooh,
Pretty impressive.
I like that.
I couldn't believe it.
Now, when you find out what the actual, toroid is, you know, I think it'd be microhenry, wouldn't it?
Most of it is microhenry.
Most of them are, yeah, except for the big ones, maybe, but, yeah.
It's all microhenry.
Hey,
But
Bob, can they
you
hear
just
us?
find
Yeah.
the resonant frequency.
What's that?
Can they
This is
hear
a
us?
Parallel resonance measurement.
No.
And
Oh,
with
okay,
the
so we don't have
VNAs,
audio.
you can measure
So we
impedance
can't really
and
talk to anybody.
conductance
there.
capacitance as well.
Right.
Okay.
Only use mine to sweep antennas, that's all it does.
Most guys.
All it does. And then it does so much more. I got the H4 and it's got so many capabilities that I probably never use.
The first one I bought came out of Germany.
The
This guy-
December club
yeah.
meeting is gonna be Zoom
DGASAQ.
because John's got a surgery coming up.
Anyway, brain blank, but anyway, the manual
Um,
for that DNA.
So
Do we have a-
is
do we have a
600
location?
pages.
the club meet, well, he's gonna send it here, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I've
send
got
it.
all the time in the
No,
world.
in English. But say for example.
I need to
you pick
run
up
a,
filter, some kind of filter.
to do a
crystal
practice
filter,
ahead of time, but I'd be
LC
willing to
filter.
run the Zoom meeting.
The thing about
Oh,
filters
we also
is
need
the
somebody to chair the meeting.
termination impedance you have to match for the filter to perform.
Well, maybe we can chat about that a
So with
little
his
bit. on Monday.
VNA,
Okay.
you,
Okay.
you hook up the input and the output of the filter to the VNA. You find what you think's the resonance point. And then using your mouse, you can tune the input and the output, and it will tell you exactly what you need in the way of a matching network to make the filter work.
Wow.
It calculates the value for the matching network. Not only that, say you want to build your own crystal filter. Now, in this class that I was talking about with John, I built a, what was it, 10, right around 10 megahertz crystal filter.
Okay, 24,
And it was 6 crystals, as I recall.
okay.
And the bandwidth was exactly 2.4 kilohertz. And
That's a 6 dB point, right?
that's exactly right, 6 dB point. And the shoulders dropped off at an appreciable rate. It's like 80 dB rejection for the sidebands.
Ooh.
The crystals cost me 10 cents a piece.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now try buying a crystal filter for your rig.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you it'll cost you
$100,
more
you
than 60 cents.
Yeah. Or they're making highway robbery with those filters.
But that particular DNA, you just take a simple little jig that you can plug your crystals into, and you plug in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it keeps track of the number of the crystals. So you number the crystals 1 through however many you get. Now I bought 100 of these crystals for $10. 100 crystals for $10.
10.7, whatever they are, something like that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little HC49 crystals. Anyhow, I ran those things through. It generates a CSV file. You throw that into Excel and you sort by frequency. And so, it's 10.00968, 10.00971, and they're all in order, and it tells you which crystal number was that particular crystal. And then there's a number of programs that you can use for free, just download, and it will generate a design for a filter using the parameters of those crystals. Because crystals are primarily inductive, believe it or not. Very high inductance, very low capacitance. And you can build filters you cannot believe. That's built into it. I mean, there's so many functions in that network analyzer, you just can't believe it.
Wow.
Anything you want to try, you can measure.
Yeah, really. That's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
It probably take you really a while to learn how to think about that thing, you really understand it.
Well, actually, it's pretty much driven by, you have a need, can I do that with this? Well,
That's
guess
how
what?
I operate.
Yes.
There you go. That's cool, man.
It'll even do audio down to below 10 hertz.
No.
Can't do that well anymore.
Below 10 hertz,
That hurt?
Low C's
different
12 on a pipe organ.
I don't know anything about that stuff. But I appreciate the fact that you do.
Bob, what's kind of interesting is, I don't know on your end, but
Remember the old days as a kid.
the
Remember,
video of the group
if you
was
had the
kind
vacuum
of,
tube voltmeter, you were on top of the world.
Yeah.
going off
If you
and
knew
on.
somebody you could borrow the grid dip meter, you
Yeah,
were
it is
really
now.
on top of the world.
Yeah.
Very few guys
Kinda
have
glitching.
that hardware.
And it's a lot
Very,
grainier than it
very
has been in
I
the
built,
past.
but
It's not nearly
I
as
didn't know it was
clear.
cell calibration, so.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
just
of
choose the
blurry.
minimum SWR,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. So, well, I just adjusted for minimum mark.
Oh, back.
That's what it was.
Or brightness on the light bulb.
But nowadays, you can buy a spectrum analyzer,
I'm raising
for
my hand
$60.
just to see if
a
anybody's
network
speaking.
analyzer for $50. You can get some gorgeous dual trace oscilloscopes for a couple of $100,
Yeah.
and a great volt ohm meter with 10 megohm input impedance is like, $20, $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on hardware diesel, and
I mean, you got a full lab for nothing.
You remember the days, if you had a spectrum analyzer, took up a whole room, you had your AP, all the different models that went in.
And a king's ransom.
yeah, that too.
And you get hard to all this stuff.
So it's so easy to homebrew today.
It is.
And with all this semiconductor stuff, and the ICs, it's just amazing what you can do.
Yeah.
Any idea you come up with, you can do.
My limit is 10th of an inch. I can handle that.
That's pretty impressive.
I can handle that.
When I make breadboards, I'll actually carve traces for 50,000 pin spacing. And you know how I do it? I have a machinist dial caliper.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
So you just scribe the lines.
Yeah, I've got one, but I never thought about using it for that. That's,
And then you take a straight edge and an X-Acto knife,
Bingo.
and you can carve out some pretty impressive printed circuit boards.
That's the easy way to do it, should be.
Now, the stuff that's 10 thousandths or 100 thousandths pin spacing, that's duck soup. I mean, and actually you don't need to do it. You ever work with copper clad board?
I have.
Copper clad is the greatest ground plane. And if you're building anything RF, that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want the circuitry close to a ground plane. And I like to do it what's called dead bug style. You take the IC and you put them upside down.
Yeah.
And then you take the ground pin and you solder it to the ground plane. And then what I like to do is I take my razor knife and I'll cut a power bus around the perimeter of the board.
There you go.
So just carve a trace. And so, you want to power it, you take a resistor to the pin, and then you can bypass the input right then and there, the supply thing. And then you
Hi,
can.
George, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Wow.
Oh, you can hear us, John?
Yep.
Yay.
Wow.
Okay, well, you must have pushed a button that allows us to talk, because this is the first time all night Bob and I have been trying to participate here with Phil on all the components.
I can understand that's pretty frustrating, because once Phil gets going in the same room, it's hard to do that.
You're a bad man, John.
I'm really, I'm honest.
Yeah.
But
All right, well, thank you for pushing the button.
if
Yeah,
we're all like me, we'd just be sitting here looking at each other.
No, because we're out here and like I got my hand up there. See my hand? Yeah. Now here's what else I've been doing. I've been doing this right here, clapping.
Yeah.
And I've also been going like this.
Oh, that's
When
impressive.
Phil's telling us about all these ICs.
Really?
There's, if you're into this homebrew stuff at all,
Not yet.
it is the greatest, cheapest way to build stuff. I mean, compared when we were kids trying to build something, it was
can build-
impossible.
Yeah.
You can build a transmitter, CW transmitter pretty easily.
Yeah.
But remember all the sheet metal tools you had to have?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. You had to cut them.
But
And drill holes.
Yeah.
as far as
That's a big
receivers,
deal.
you didn't even think about it,
No, nobody built.
because there's just so many details. It was like that thing I was reading from 100 years ago. It was almost like that for somebody to build a receiver
Yes,
back in the 60s, right, Phil?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there were just so many birdie problems, and it's like,
And finding
experienced guys
parts.
say, don't even try it.
Finding parts was impossible.
Now it's the other thing. Hard.
Now it's a problem today too. But a great source of parts? Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah.
They got everything.
I hate
It's
to
cheap.
say it, because the more we use Amazon, there's gonna be no other stores eventually, but.
Well, they're gone
we're
now
all
anyway.
guilty. That's true.
Oh, look at, don't laugh.
You're right about
all
that.
the park houses are gone.
Yeah, there's nothing in Sacramento anymore.
No.
But then when I was a kid, I had to mail away in
Oh, yeah.
Allied catalogs,
Yep.
Lafayette catalogs.
Yep.
Put in
Yep.
a surplus
So
house.
it's not a whole lot different. Yeah, there was surplus houses,
Yeah.
Two
but,
of those, yeah, they're all gone.
but yeah, it's different, but it is doable, like you say. You build
Again-
stuff that you couldn't even dream about, you know? You build CW transmitter, maybe an AM transmitter. And I even bought a book about single sideband, and most of the schematics are like, 4 pages long, and you gotta glue them together, and never did get anywhere on that.
Well, back then,
That's-
it was
That's what it took.
9 megahertz was an IF back then, because it was easy to do,
Yeah.
9 plus 5 is 20 meters, minus 5 is 75, that's how easy that was.
And just mechanically.
Try and
like
buy
you say,
a
all those
crystal
holes-
today.
Huh?
Try and buy a specific frequency crystal. You can't do it.
I just.
They're all gone.
Is the audio still working, or did everybody quit talking?
No, we're just listening to Phil right
Yeah,
now.
now we're here.
I'm
We're
on
all here.
because I was working with that for a while.
Yeah, we're looking for some specific frequency crystals right now.
Yeah, you can't find them.
Yeah.
I'm looking for them.
Anybody to make them. And so what you end up with, everything today is with that SI 5351 synthesizer. And you use it with a little Arduino. I mean, for what, I mean, probably $10, you got a VFO that is absolute rock solid. It's
Yeah, that's the amazing part.
Amazing.
The
Yeah.
cheapest rig on the planet, it's got a rock solid
oh yeah, yeah.
VFO.
And as
And we
I
used to dream
said,
about in the sixties.
if you want to build a filter, you could buy these import crystals. They're 10 cents a piece.
Can't beat that.
So you can build some filters that'll just knock your socks off for nothing. But again, you have to have a nano
That
DNA,
source is gonna dry up pretty quick.
and away you go. It's unbelievably cool.
Yep.
And then if you want, you can build your own horizontal J-pole
Right.
for 80 meters,
For 80 meters.
or even 160.
Sure.
That's what you have is a 80 meter, 160 J pole in your yard?
80 meters,
80 meter J pole.
horizontal J-pole.
Have you tried it on 160? Will it tune?
Well, no, I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it.
My G5 RV will. It got, you know, a cloud warming dummy load, but I can talk to people a couple states away up in Oregon, Southern California, Nevada. I've got it up 60 feet high at the peak, and then it comes down to 40 feet on each end.
Cloud warmers are underrated, I think. They get a bad rap. I mean, you talk to a lot of people, and like I said,
They didn't talk about that.
and who do you know that has an 80 meter dipole?
Halfway.
Yeah, stretch.
Nobody.
You know anybody like that? I don't.
I do. I do.
Good. Yeah, your Golden Gate Bridge there. is
Well, how many-
behind it.
But I live on 10 acres.
You
Yeah,
probably,
How many people have
That's
a
what I would take,
160
yeah.
meter dipole at halfway?
Yeah, but that'd be a cloud warmer because I can't get it in the air high enough.
70 feet
I thought on the ends.
at the top.
Well, we haven't had too many clouds lately.
Hands are out. 15 feet up.
But propagation's better. You can
So it's a pretty
you
short.
usually
feed.
find somebody on CW to talk to now
Yep.
on the higher bands.
That's the trick, yeah. Yeah, you find them, they're good shape in DX, you know.
That's true.
That's a
Not
different
everybody,
game.
though.
Yeah, you're 5'9".
You can always jump into the FT8 world if you're,
Oh, that's.
if,
Oh my goodness.
if
I
you're
wouldn't
a,
hook my computer up to my 5,000. I refuse to do it.
Have you made any FT8
I
contacts?
do not do FT8.
I haven't
it's
either.
I'm one of those
insulting,
guys
isn't
that
it?
just have a red circle with a slash
On
through it.
somebody's QRZ page, it said CW is kind of like FT8 only for adults.
Okay, I'll buy that. Yeah.
Well, as soon as you can say, help, I'm on the Titanic, send,
You can't even do that
send
with
anything on
FT8.
FT8,
No.
Yeah.
then I'll start
Now,
using it.
Some of the digital modes you can actually type,
Yeah.
send an email.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's,
Like
At least
PSK
you can-
31 or something like that.
at least you can carry on a conversation.
Well,
But to go to bed and wake up and say you made 15.
Oh yeah, I just got another piece of paper to hang on my
How
wall
do you even-
overnight.
How do you call that a QSO?
do all of you recognize that we are a very small minority of the
We
real
are very
world?
small, very small.
Well,
You know
that's
what,
true,
I'll stay here. You know, I like being
that's
that
true of a
very
lot of things I
small
believe
minority.
in. But oh well.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I figure to each their own, but I
Yeah,
just
I
don't
don't
see the
Exactly.
What's
popularity
the
is
point?
just
I know.
It is. You
I
set it and
could've
forget
did
it
that.
and go to work or go, like
Yeah.
Bob was saying, go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, like, what is the point? Well, okay, I can see one thing for research to see how the propagation works.
Research, emergency, you know, situations, communications.
Well, not
things
even
like
that, because you don't
Not
communicate.
It would be,
You don't even communicate with it, it's just,
Isn't it about as
Bye.
exciting as watching paint dry?
grass grow.
it's
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
As a matter of fact, that seems to be pretty exciting paint. in
What,
comparison.
right? Yeah, paint,
You know, sometimes it drips.
paint
You know,
right out to
changes
another.
color.
Yeah, changes color. Yeah.
Change color, right, I mean, it can be very interesting.
You know, and another thing, I get out there and I work a lot of CW and I run across guys constantly in their 80s and 90s. And
What did that tell you?
they're out working CW. You know, it does a lot to keep your mind. I think it does a lot to exercise your mind and keep
Yeah,
it
hurt.
sharp. Because I run into so many guys that are just, I mean, really old guys out there, and they're
Yeah.
still doing it. They can't send very fast anymore because they're getting old.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
I
mind
can
slow.
send at 30 words a minute, and they're copying.
I don't
everything
mind
I'm saying.
slow. Legible is nice, though.
Legible is- yeah, you're right.
Readability is nice.
That's why I gotta be careful with that.
I don't care if they're 5 words a minute.
I don't care.
If they're, if you
can
can
read
at
it.
least understand it, it's
Right.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Slow is okay.
Well, the most irritating is the guys who get on air with a bug and don't know how to use it.
Like,
It is the worst. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. I can't stand to listen to it.
Like that.
And that doesn't include you, Chris. No, it's the dits at 30 words a minute and
That's
the
it.
dashes
That's
at
it.
like 10
oh,
words.
yeah.
Yeah, some of these guys won't slow down for anybody. Their attempt to slow down is like you say, that, you know, the dit's at 10 words a minute and the dot's at 80 words a minute.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get those guys.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I do own one bug, and that's exactly how it works. So I don't use the bug.
Well, I think it's a matter of adjustment. If you know how to adjust the thing so your
Yeah,
dots are
that's
actually
right.
fast.
I need to hang a lot of weight off the end of that.
I just use a straight key. I have a straight key next to my bug. So if it's too slow for the bug, I just use a straight key. They're mounted right on the same.
You know,
piece
the
of
other
wood.
thing is, I've developed the shakes,
Oh,
Oh,
and so I'm much better off with paddles.
right.
so how do
Much
you,
better.
Nothing wrong with
so
paddles.
when you're doing your,
And
building, do you put your hands, how do you
Really-
maybe you're shaking? You have,
I have to be very, very careful.
for somebody that's disabled,
yeah,
I don't have a problem with a disabled person using a keyboard. For
I don't
something.
either.
Yeah, I've run across a lot of that out there.
Or
Yeah.
somebody that their hands don't work so well anymore, they've had a stroke, whatever. Give them a keyboard. No
But
problem.
you can always tell a guy,
But people that are just too lazy to learn
your
CW,
throw using the keyboard versus the
that's
guy.
different.
Do you use a bug on the air, John?
What's that?
You use a bug?
Yeah, bug and a
That's
straight
right.
key.
You're clean. I mean, you're.
Well, the net, I
Bug
use
sending
a
is
straight
great.
key.
Oh, okay, yeah, but in your regular, you know, when you're doing like 25 words a minute,
Right.
you know how to use that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as people quit saying that, then I'll think about using
So
something different.
let me ask a real
Seriously.
question at
Real
this
quick,
point.
all right, you want a real
Is
answer?
there, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Is there anybody in our organization that is willing to take on the task of teaching CW?
I'm already doing it.
We talked about it with you two. We talked
I mean,
about it
that-
tonight, but how, we talked about it, John and I were talking about that the other day, and
This
So,
thing
do
with,
we do it
with
live or do
with
it
Mike's
video?
demise
Yeah.
is actually
Yeah,
really
yeah.
killed that.
Oh, you're
part.
talking about a formal class.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do an MCW thing over the air that we've got
That's
3 or
true.
4 people
That's
that
right, you are.
show up.
That's true. I do everything I can to promote that. too.
Yeah, thank you. I, you know what? I just saw that on the site like 2 weeks ago. I had no idea you guys had that up there. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I only learned about it because I was turned on 440 one day
Oh, that's how you
and
found it.
heard a signal.
You're like, what?
What's that on there?
Modulated CW. That's how I learned with this guy. 2 meters. 2
Oh,
meters.
yeah, you're
of
gonna go on
it.
there next week and go,
And that's how I found out about it. I think it's a great way for people
oh, yeah.
with only
I think
a,
it's great.
And we're only getting like
Only
3
an
or 4
HT.
people, you know.
only an HT
Well,
to break
again,
into
back,
CW.
back to my point.
Yeah.
I think that the future of this organization really does revolve around us getting back in that
Right.
mode of operation and finding someone that's willing to do it. I don't think that's gonna be an easy task.
Well,
But I
did
think
he
it's
leave
essential.
a teaching plan? Did he leave an instruction plan of what, how he did?
Yeah, I helped him with it some. I know the basics of what he did and have some prints.
Now,
but
didn't
Yeah, I guess-
Andrew used to do that with him too? Wasn't it Andrew?
I don't know, I did it some.
John did it mostly.
I just got tired of, you would
well, you were,
insist that everybody hold their hand in a certain way and chew them out if they got it wrong. I
Well,
just couldn't
if you
get
don't-
into that.
if you offer,
And I got tired of just going there and him doing all the talking, so.
yeah, you get the book of order.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten in the mood to do something like that every week for 10 weeks.
Well, there are certain ways to hold a key.
That's
you know
what it
that,
takes
but
too.
It's not
Yeah.
ironclad.
But-
Now, if you had 2 or 3 people, you could,
Well, you
trade
can't-
off with
You know,
maybe.
you can't do it like this, you know. You know, that's not good.
Well, however they hold their hand is whatever works for them. I mean, that would
That's
be.
the way I feel
what I
about
would-
it.
Yeah.
That's the way I
Well,
feel
that,
about
there's
it.
nothing
You know,
wrong
if you
with
wanna
that.
do it like this and it works for you, that's fine. Do what you
If
gotta do.
people can hear it,
As
it sounds
long as
decent,
we
that's
don't
what
have to
matters.
do the left foot thing.
Oh, well, we're coming up to that. We're
Well,
not
that's
ready for
the
another
other
contest.
We can keep that
You guys
concept.
are using the, what, you use a straight key for that?
No, yeah, it's,
It's
I'll
sort
tell
of-
you
it's
exactly
sort
what
of-
it
It's
is.
a regular straight key though, right?
No,
No.
John's custom.
We have what we call a bogus story contest every April. For
Yeah,
April
I've
Fool's
seen
Day.
it, yeah.
Okay.
Did you, oh, we did record the last April meeting, you did get recorded, so.
And I had trouble one year, I just couldn't come up with any bogus story, you know, I thought it up, so
Yeah.
I like to, participate in it every year because I thought it up, you know, so.
Oh, you're.
I gotta do something, I just couldn't come up with anything. So I went out in the garage, and, if you see my garage, you could believe this story, otherwise you might not. But I walked around on the floor and picked up junk and threw together a piece of uni-strut and a hinge, and threw it together and a spring nut under it, and an old knob and tube knob on there. And my bogus story was, I entered this in the ARRL homebrew key contest 5 years in a row, winning. That was my bogus story. So then when it came time for a left foot contest, what better piece of junk?
Sounds like
to
it
use?
might actually work pretty well for
Well,
that.
what do you got a micro switch on it, and a piece of uni strut about, I don't know, 10 inches long.
Yeah, it's big enough for, yeah.
And so for the foot, it worked pretty good. But then I think we gave them a choice also of a Mighty Fine Junk straight key also.
Mighty Fine Junk.
Yeah.
But they're about the only ones that make the straight key.
I've
anymore,
still
which
got
might
mine
take
from when I
500
first
bucks.
started, my old MFJ straight key, yep.
But anyway.
Plexiglass base.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So we gave them the choice of that, and, which by the way, we have some of those for starting up a class.
We do,
I
yeah.
got those in storage
You can bring
too.
that key too, if you like, and
But
start one of that cruise.
I just haven't gotten in the mood to do it for 10 weeks or whatever it takes.
Well, yeah, it takes some
It's a
time.
big commitment too.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
week.
It is, it's a big deal.
Every week, whether you're in the mood or not.
Yeah, you
No,
gotta be there.
well, we'll have to sit down and come over.
I don't know if there was two or three people that would do it.
Yeah,
But you can't switch instructors between weeks.
no. Everybody has their style, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, as long as there's a
Well,
teaching
you
plan,
guys- how do
an
you guys do
instruction
it?
plan, and they
Yeah,
follow the plan, it
yeah.
shouldn't be, it shouldn't be too terrible if you, even if you,
Like
switch
Mike used to
instructors.
say, don't listen only to W1AW code practice.
Oh, when I
No.
started out,
Okay, but don't do that exclusively
no,
because it's perfect machine code.
it is.
On the air, you don't hear perfect code too much.
No.
Nope.
So
yeah,
then,
but
if
they
you only
need-
learn on that and then go on the air, you'll miss half of what.
Yep.
But
Go on.
again,
Yeah.
when you're getting somebody into the fold,
Yeah.
you want to give them as clean as you can to encourage them, and so they have a little
True.
confidence in
True.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, you temper that with an explanation. This is not exactly what you're gonna hear on the air.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear some pretty
Yeah.
ugly
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
but at least you know what it should sound like,
Yeah.
what you're trying to make
Well, right.
yourself sound like.
But Mike's point was, if that's all you do to increase your code ability, then you won't be very much in the real world to be able to copy
No.
it.
Well,
Getting
well,
on the
that's-
air is
because it's
definitely the
imperfect.
best
Well,
way to
that-
learn
right.
it.
Oh, yeah.
There's no
Right.
two ways
That's what the
about
old novice license was
Yeah.
about.
Right,
That's
but,
right.
but again, the point is, they have to have sufficient confidence to get on the air.
True.
Well, yeah.
And
There's
if-
gotta be a
if-
starting
Not
point.
here.
Like I say, you know, if somebody be 5 words a minute, I'll talk to them. But when you can't make out what in the world,
Yes.
there are some that have been so bad, that listen to them 3 times before you figure out what their call is, and you're still not sure you got it right.
I just give up. I don't
Yeah.
have, I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
that's what you
you're-
don't wanna do.
This group, there's an awful lot of advanced CW operators in this.
Oh,
group.
yeah.
And I understand the frustration that falls in place. I'm about the worst CW operator in this club.
Well, that's only because you don't use it.
I've never owned a damn.
Oh.
I'm always
Don't
soldering
get here.
something.
You know, use it. If you use it, you learn the basics. Well, you knew the basics.
You know the
got a
basics.
Yeah.
license
I'm gonna do
50 years ago.
Yeah.
That's pretty close to the accurate answer.
More
When
than that, really.
I took my
No,
last
more than
hand
50,
test,
because you've been married 50 years, so that.
I took my
Tell me
last
more than
hand
that.
test,
Yeah.
my wife was pregnant with our daughter,
When you get.
who is now 45 years old.
Mhm.
Whoa.
That's how long ago it's been since I had my face inside of a license manual. I have no idea what's on that test anymore.
I wouldn't either. I have no idea.
I know, last time I
Anyway.
did, I had to take a code test to get extra, so I don't know what they've got. I guess they combined the advanced and the extra into one.
You did, yeah.
Is that what they did?
Advanced is gone.
Yeah, but I think the question pool from the advanced and the extra,
Well,
they
they
combined
change it every
them.
few
They
years.
get everything now.
I don't know.
Change it every few years.
Yeah, and you know, I guess there's a tremendous amount of stuff in there about FM repeaters and
Yeah, probably.
Some of that.
intermod stuff, you know, things that,
Satellite stuff,
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
missed charts.
Oh, I know about those.
Yeah.
Makes cough drops.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we gotta get back to that, teaching.
Well,
It's not how we're
the
doing.
reason I bring this up is I think through the course of this coming year, we should focus on finding some people willing to do that. We should make it part of our plan for 2020.
So,
Right.
are we gonna do it, on the internet? We're gonna do it on the
In person.
The CW.
Well, I
Repeater?
think that's part of
Or
this
what?
planning process. I just think
Yeah.
that
Well, that's
it
why I'm
should-
asking.
See, I think that the advantage you have in person is you got to get the people to show them how to use the key.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Hard to do that on Zoom, like, somebody like me.
Oh,
It
no.
wouldn't work on Zoom.
But you know, this New Jersey,
You're
is it
special.
New Jersey
Well,
CW club? Long Island CW
Yeah, they're-
club.
Oh, yeah, they're.
Yeah.
Long Island, yeah. Now, they're doing it, but they don't use tiers there, see? Yeah, I recommend
Well,
everybody get a tier.
They do
Is that
use
what they
keys?
use, Keith?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake.
So,
Well,
I like to
Go to a keyer later after you know how to use a straight key if you wanna use a keyer.
Well, I like, you gotta be able to use anything we're throwing at you. That's my thought.
Yeah.
So no matter what's there in the shack,
So I don't think it's good to learn on it.
you don't need it.
well, again, you know, it's, those are topics for discussion. But again, I think it should be part of our charter for the year.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, but no, the first thing I think is a solid lesson plan that can be, because not any of us, I don't think, are gonna be able to say that for all certainty, we're gonna be there for 10 straight weeks. You know, there's things that are gonna come up. There should be a lesson plan in place that anybody can jump in and pick up from.
I have Mike's notes on that.
So, yeah, okay.
What do you do with
Review those, John.
You do a certain number of letters one week,
Right. Yeah,
tell
you
everybody
come out,
learns
you know,
those.
A, E, you know.
And then
it-
next you go on to another
Yeah,
500
That's how I
letters.
did it.
that's what he
Something
did.
like that, right? Is that what you remember?
Or I guess they probably do pro signs sometimes,
Near the
and
end.
then,
Yeah.
And numbers near the
At the
end.
end, yeah. Number is the easiest.
do they
Yeah,
ever, I mean,
count
was he doing QSOs? Were they
Yeah,
actually?
some of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd
yeah,
pair
at the
people
end.
off,
Okay.
and you'd communicate with each other. He had a script of a standard QSO that you would have, you know, hi, my name is, my rig is, my,
Right.
you know.
Did they do it like the old CW test where they had to answer the
Well,
questions?
no, but
No.
you'd have a script that you would send to the other person, and
Okay,
then they'd have to
Yeah,
respond
come
back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, you
all
tell
right.
them
It was a simulated
your
QSO.
QTH, your name,
Yeah.
your rig,
all that
your
stuff.
antenna.
Yeah, all that, yeah.
the standard stuff there.
He had a unique ability to hear individual fists while it's going on in the classroom.
That's right.
It was pretty
You could
impressive.
hear, you're not, you know, something, a suggestion for
Catch
that.
a wrong
person.
character or
While
something.
20 while 40 people were sending.
Stop.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, everybody had a different frequency, hopefully, and that was.
It was pretty close. They're all the same oscillator.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of QRM. It was like,
Then those
It might be
nasty
non-biased
back in the 60s.
oscillators. God.
Buzz.
Pretty funny.
like
Sounds like a
Don
set of
said,
cheap headphones.
with
for
my
exercise
receiver in the
like that would
60s.
be-
Well, no, they did some of that too.
Oh, okay.
Use earphone splitters and,
yeah.
Oh, there was some.
you know, again, if we're gonna be a CW club, I think we just
I agree.
have gotta find a way to get it. It's not gonna be an easy thing to do, but I
No,
think we need to
no.
find a way to get it done.
So what do you think? In person is the way to do it?
Yes.
Oh, I agree.
There's too many people already doing it on the internet, so what's the point of doing another one of those?
Well, everybody, yeah, that's the easy.
I mean, if you're gonna have an internet class, well, go to Long Island.
Well, you know, and what I've found from the people taking these internet classes, they're not really getting that much out of it.
They're not.
Working with the people that I'm doing,
You gotta
we're
get
doing
on
on
the
the
air.
modulated
Yeah.
CW thing, they're not,
They don't, yeah. I agree.
it's not sinking in, they're not really getting it. And I don't know if it's because, you know, I've never looked at those internet classes, what they do or what format they follow, but I run into several people that, you know, they've told me themselves, it's been kind of a failure for them. They just weren't able to get it.
Yeah.
How do
that
you,
way.
how do you get it?
Well, in the old days, it was a buzzer, a key,
Yeah.
and if you were lucky, you had a buddy, and the two of you worked together. I mean, that's what
No,
we did.
Yeah, I didn't even have that, actually.
Yeah, code tapes during the day on the way to and from work, and then him at night. That worked out real good.
I didn't have any of that.
I had a record
Oh,
that I
yeah, we.
inherited from the same guy. I got the rig and
Yeah.
No,
that.
Well,
oscillator from.
again, you know, it's just a suggestion.
yeah,
Good
well,
one.
it is.
So it sounds like everybody thinks in person is the way to do it.
It has to be. If we want to get it
Otherwise,
done.
you're duplicating what everybody
Now,
else does.
knowing that,
But the Friday night repeaters.
Well,
thing is
the other
good,
thing
too.
is going person is.
It's working. I mean, the people are improving. We don't have much of we know there's way more people out listening than are actually participating.
Yeah.
Only getting like 4 or 5 people. Carol jumps in quite a bit. She's been working with us and,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
she doesn't miss anything.
yeah, well, she's been really good at
To tell you the
participating.
truth, I moved the
in
code
helping
oscillator over to the microphone for the 440.
Well,
Before they got.
Oh, you didn't check in. Oh, come on, John, next time jump in.
I'm the world's worst
I
user.
built things for Bowfangs, and you can plug that in.
Yeah,
Oh,
I made
okay.
those.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well,
I
I'm
think you've got a
procrastinator.
couple of them.
Yeah, and I haven't built it yet. That's kind of
I built
procrastinator.
one that works
Um,
and one that doesn't.
Libraries will give you access to their meeting rooms
It's true,
Wait, who will?
for
Oh, the
free,
library, yeah.
for free.
but it's
Well,
unpredictable.
Well,
That
it's,
was found.
it's not that difficult.
oh, no.
All you need is a library card,
Yeah.
and
I got a
they'll
library.
arrange them for you. You have to go online to reserve the meeting room.
We need
There is a limit to how many nights in a row you can use the same meeting room.
Oh, there we need one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But, you know, they don't want somebody holding up their meeting room
Oh,
for
no.
10 weeks.
No.
So you may have to use 2. For example, we got Carmichael, we got Fair Oaks.
Some of the Rayleighs
So you
have
could-
meeting rooms.
Rayleigh's does
Oh,
have meeting
really?
rooms,
Really?
yeah. So you know, you do 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 there. You can do that. And they're free,
Yeah.
which is a real blessing. That's what you need. So we're able to come up with a place that's straightforward. And we know about the oscillator thing, that the real key is the instructor talent.
Right.
And you know, maybe it's one of these things, we have one instructor for the first 5 weeks, a different instructor for the second 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's some continuity. You get them up and running, and the second instructor's aware what the first one did, and then, you know, it doesn't kill your entire
And
life.
that's where the written lesson plan, I think, is very
Yeah,
important,
yeah.
before
Well, it's
anything
essential.
even gets moving.
It's absolutely
I can
essential.
come up with that.
Okay, so Jim, since I haven't heard you guys, how do you guys do it on the air?
So what we're doing is because I can't hit Ernie's repeater with my HT. I'm in the hills and he's blocked. So what I do is I've got my desk mic. I hit the lock. I put my FTDX 5000 into side tone.
Oh, there you go.
And then I used to use the paddles. I went to the straight key, but I have a tendency to move around speed-wise on the straight key. So I went back to the paddles. I leave it set right at 10 words a minute.
Right.
And that's been kind of where we've been.
Yeah, I have that problem too, the speed creeps up on me.
Yeah, when I
noticed that too, I'm the same thing, it tends to go.
Start out slow.
So it's better to use a keyer so that you maintain a consistent
better,
speed
yeah.
and spacing. It's
I
a lot
suppose,
easier that way.
Well, this thing will maintain nice too, a little faster co-practice.
And then what we're doing is, we'll get a QSO going, ask, and everybody responds to the next question, all the way goes right back to the NCS, and then, he'll put out another topic for whatever, and then it will go back around, and everybody, then the person who had it last passes it to the next one, and it just goes into a daisy chain.
So how many people are you gonna check in?
The most we've had is 5, typically 3 to 4. Maynard, PAP, he's been off of it lately because his wife is not, she's kind of ill, so we've lost him for a while, but we've been maintaining anywhere between 3 and 5. Which is better than nothing, and we know.
Maynard's got a great fit.
Yeah, he does. He's very good. I wasn't aware that he was that good at. I ran him up to 25 words a minute, and he was keeping up with me just fine. So I had no idea he was a CW guy. Yep. So that's the way we've been doing it right now.
Okay.
And we've sometimes when we only have a couple, then we'll go back and we'll say, okay, we're going to do numbers tonight. We're going to go through 1 through 0. And then run through pro signs one night. These are the common pro signs that you're going to hear out there. And then sometimes we'll just talk and discuss about what you're going to hear out there on the bands, where you're going to find the specifics, piece of spectrum where you should be when you're operating. Don't go down to the bottom of the band if you're going to work 5 words a minute. Go back up toward the old novice. You'll find the slower operators up there. So.
Yeah, there you go. Stay away from 35, 45. There's some bad operators there.
Oh, man.
It's a real rough crowd there.
Especially on Tuesdays.
Where you want to stay away from is 38, 45.
Oh,
there's some really rude individuals on that.
Oh, man. Well, they got one of those guys gone anyway. Billy the Bill collector, he's gone. So they busted him a couple of years ago.
Is that the guy that was up in Shingle Springs, not too far from me, right there?
Your neighbor.
Yeah, he got his license revoked.
Yeah, 25 grand.
Yeah, there was another guy up in Northern California. They just got a $25,000.
Yeah, they got him nailed too.
Yeah.
It took them a while to get him, but they finally got him.
Good.
Up in Bernie somewhere.
Yeah, it's nice to see some enforcement out there. It's been a long time.
It's got a lot there. Good.
What else we got, John?
Yeah.
That's all we got, bug roundup.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. You're gonna go over the bug, I think I got the right year this time.
Oh, did you talk about DQP yet?
Go ahead and talk about it while I find the
Okay.
other thing here. Okay.
Oh, software.
What is that? Does everybody seeing that? I have to put I think I have to put share screen, don't I?
Oh. What's the rhythm again?
Now, you guys still with us?
Yep, right here.
You guys are so quiet. Sorry to had to shut down there. We got a different TV, and I did everything the same, and it was HDMI also. But for some reason, I had to click something a little different on the computer. The test was working, through the through the TV, but the Zoom wasn't for some reason. And I finally poked around long enough that got it going. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna share. And then we need this. So anyway, good grief. Okay.
Next meeting, I'll bring that spectrum analyzer so you can see those cavities and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Okay, anyway, we got 1,263 points, 421 contacts.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
And that was with Chris and I and K6 LQ for a couple hours.
And this is for bug roundup?
No, this was California.
Oh, the
Field
QSO
Party.
party, okay.
Yeah,
Where'd you operate here?
right here, yeah.
With
Wow,
your
that's
next meter, spider game.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah, 20 was.
coax connector in the wall there, so I just bring the rig out here. My shaft is too small. 2 people in there is crowded. You can get 3 standing only.
Yeah, I've got a
Yeah,
two-person
so-
shack too.
So anything like that, I bring it out of here, so that's why I just got the,
Yeah.
It works.
That's good.
UHF
The other end
right
can't
there.
tell.
True. So that's one of the great things about CW too. You can have a $5 rig that you home brewed
Yeah.
and talk to somebody with a
$3,000.
$50,000 worth of equipment, and you know they
All the
both
same.
work.
Yep.
It's kind of like fishing. You know, you can buy a ship.
So if you guys have a recorded, just the CQP thing, that, so you don't have to sit there and continuously call CQ?
No, we do
or-
it the old way.
Oh, do you? Wow.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do it the old way. We're like that. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We're old style. So
Well, we do a lot.
you ought to try it for the North American. It's going to be at Bob's house there,
Yeah.
out there by Indian Casino. Like what is that? 12 Bridges Road or something out that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay
Stay out of the
Oh,
casino.
Fitterman, okay, yeah.
Yeah, out in that direction. That's where Bob's is.
Yeah. Over here. We walked off the smoke alarm that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Near the dump.
I was going to say that, but I was trying not to.
That's I describe it that way. My wife doesn't like it. It's real near the Indian Casino. Yeah, it's closer to the dump.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Most of the time you can't smell it.
Yeah.
It's sort of nostalgic, isn't it?
It's a landmark though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess 20 was our best band, huh? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
20 was.
Let's look at that.
20 was smoking, man.
Let's see here.
This antenna made a difference. I mean, you could hold a frequency down.
Yeah, we were holding them down pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
You can just
With
run
the
off.
hex beam. I finally put a beam of first beam I've ever had. But I got up.
Obviously,
I don't think
you
last
like
time you didn't have that heck, you just put that up pretty recently, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, started that project about May.
Okay, all right.
A friend of mine moved to Washington and gave me his M40, MA40 telescopic 40 foot. So by the time I had to go get it, and then I dig the foundation and get the concrete and all that, and a couple of vacations in between.
Yeah.
It was September before I got it up and running.
The concrete got dry.
And then, yeah, concrete was definitely had a 28-day cure.
Is it a 40-foot map?
Yeah,
That's pretty nice.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that's a half wave on 20. So
Yeah.
and I had some hard line left over from my cell site days, so that runs under the floor here, comes out over on the garage. It's about a 100-foot run, and I had the stuff, so I went ahead and used it.
A lot. You know, I think
And then
down to my L.
normal coax on each end.
Also, they work pretty good too. I kind of scoffed at them when I first saw them.
Yeah, some people do. I hesitate to even.
But that looked like an umbrella.
Well, some of the people got $gazillion
Well,
means that I hesitate.
in an HOA area, you can always hang your underwear on.
That's right.
Well, no, that's
You
only,
can tell them it's a clothesline.
that's only in Davis because then you're conserving energy with the
And they
clothing.
take full legal limit power, you
Sure
know?
will. Oh, yeah, it will.
As long as there's no starch in your shorts.
Yeah.
And
The clothes got
for
drier
the
faster
first
than I
time
thought
ever,
it would.
DX stations actually answer me. That's something new for me.
Yeah. It
The
will.
front to back pretty good on it, or
What's that?
the front to back, and they get a good backside rejection?
Yeah,
Because
pretty good.
we had a guy from Alaska calling us, but, you know, you can tell they were weaker. I think we had pointed at them, it would have made a difference. But, oh yeah, it worked.
Yeah,
All right.
Definitely worked.
Might have to consider one. I've been running into a lot of them on the air, and
Well, I can tell you something.
And they're fairly lightweight.
I got a frame on it.
And
yeah,
the wing loading is
wind loading
pretty
is
good.
low on them. There's a lot to be impressed with. Plus the legal limit power. I was like, what? Really?
And I think the SWR curve's pretty nice too.
Pretty good, yeah. They are.
Now the SWR curve is fixed. Is there any way you can adjust the?
It's the length of the elements.
Up a little bit, yeah, but usually,
I thought that was the only thing is they're kind of fixed on their center frequencies.
well, you know, I think I would have mine, you know, about 14, I don't know, 100 or something maybe. That'd be very
I don't
good.
know, I've never worked with one.
I don't know what it would be, I can't tell you.
You know, a good tuner. You know, I think you could probably still use one if you want to get down to the CW portion.
Well, that's what I would do.
I don't need, well, the tuner and the rig
Yeah,
takes care of it. You don't need a big tuner.
you know, I mean,
But that's the literature that compares some. I'm done
I
comparing.
need a
I
big tuner for my
bought the
amplifiers.
thing and put it up, so I'm not comparing anymore.
you know, it's,
So,
we
you
know
have
it
what
works.
you have.
We
But it's a good way to beam on a budget.
Which
you know.
one's yours?
The KOI,
KIO,
KIO.
K4, KIO, yeah.
It's a little more expensive, but it seems to be built pretty solid.
It's bamboo, isn't it, the boom or whatever?
No, it's fiberglass.
Oh, is it?
Fiberglass boom?
Oh, that'd be
We
good.
got sidetracked here though, didn't
They
we?
say that one's the one to get. I guess MFJ makes one that is of lower quality.
No, stay away from that.
Yeah.
If it says MFJ, you answered your question.
Well, this guy politely talks about it,
Okay,
but they compare each one.
okay, so you're saying about 20 meters, how we do? Whatever.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, let's see here. Okay, so. How do you get the,
You can go down to the band on the bottom left and right and left click it. It'll change from band to band.
ah! Okay, so then, where do you see the totals? That doesn't change the totals though.
No.
I was trying to see how many on each band.
Could tell you, I
Uh,
don't know how you do it though.
trying to remember.
Bob's got experience on this
Yeah, I
program.
can't remember. Hang on, gotta get my brain working.
Okay,
I know
so,
it's not a good site.
Route 15 was pretty good too.
yeah, we had,
Okay, you're only looking at the 20 most recent. There's a little click that says
oh, yeah, let's
on
see here.
there, up under that red thing somewhere.
Gotta move that thing without,
Pull the
Stopping
screen
that.
down.
not stopping the zoom. There we go.
Okay,
All, there we go.
right.
Okay,
And then it
now we're
should say,
showing all. Now. Okay, 10 meters. I don't see anything changing though. I think that's just for recording purposes.
Was 10 active?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It sure was.
It wasn't as good
Let's
as it is
see.
now. but
We
it was-
started off on 15 for some reason. We
Yeah,
must
we did.
not
I
have.
don't know why, but we did okay there.
Did you guys
I don't know
log
why.
any actual overseas DX contests? A contester, and you were during the contest,
Oh, last
the
week?
QSOs, during the QSO party.
Yeah, we had a couple of DX.
Yeah, I heard a
Yeah,
bunch
we
of
did,
them
yeah,
working.
we got, Brazil, I think, and we got an
Learn how to read this thing.
We have somebody else. I'll get a guy in, what is he? You gotta say Denmark. We got him on free band, 4 band.
Wow.
Slavic
Yeah.
Republic.
Yeah.
We got Slavic Republic.
Oh, we got, okay.
Slavic.
Yep.
They don't count, but they don't.
OM2.
That's what I was just gonna ask. They don't count for the
OM2
contest?
BL.
Yeah, we worked him a couple of different bands. 3 or 4 of me.
Yeah.
So they don't count they don't count point wise.
Well, yeah, it made it, state.
I think it counts as a contact, but it doesn't count as a
Yeah, you're right,
multiplier or
Ronnie.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Hungary.
Yeah.
We had
You
a
guys
few.
did all right.
We had a few Canadians.
Yeah, well, that's part of the contest.
Quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. They're,
Yeah, so we got Hungary.
If you ever want to contact people, you can contact Brazil and Japan.
yeah.
They're pretty easy.
They're both the same.
I've been working the Japanese on 10 meters FM.
Italy.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
I haven't tried that.
We did one Italy also.
Oh, that's nice. You guys did all right.
Yeah, I wish more of you would have joined in on the fun there, but unfortunately there was just a few of us there.
Yeah, I've never been much of a contester.
Me neither, but
No,
one thing it does do, like field day, it does kind of sharpen your CW skills.
But, you know, for the club, for something like this, I could see myself maybe wanting to get a little more involved.
Yeah.
I mean, just to sit there, you know, in my shack and, you know, try to hang paper on my wall, I'm not.
I hear you, and I'm the same way.
Yeah, me too.
But it is kind of fun to get together. We, you know,
It is.
have a
I
pizza
know.
party,
Get some pizza later.
and, you know, rag through like we're doing now.
Yeah, we're 2 different.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. We'd like to see more people, but.
You know, I hate
Right.
to say it, but I'm gonna have to get a little bit active.
Yeah, it's, I tend
Well, I
to
don't-
agree with you.
I don't really get on here that much either, you know, I get on enough.
I haven't lately. I get on 35, 45 and call CQ, and there's a lot of times I don't get any, but most of the time Rob out in Davis,
Yeah,
I'll pick him up, and then Mitch,
Yeah.
I'll pick him up once in a while, but it seems
And
like
that's
not
good, but since I've had the hex beam, I do more in the daytime
yeah.
and talk to
The
somebody
DX has
different.
been so good.
I got nothing wrong with talking to the same guys I talked to
You're like,
before.
No, you're right.
But it's nice to have a little variety.
You get
there.
like
Yeah.
AL now, you're trying to
And
get FaceTime up.
you start hearing somebody CQing and yeah, that sounds familiar. And oh yeah, I talked to him last night.
No, you're right.
After I look it up. Well,
That's why I
probably
usually go
good
down
to
to
do.
35 and I'll pick up guys that, you know, in the Bay Area or up in Reno or people that I don't work all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Here,
yeah, that's good to do.
it's good.
Good, you know, something a little different.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
But yes, Phil, you need to get on the air.
Yeah, I need to get on there.
You know, I've got one of my electricians, he's a novice. He has his novice license.
Oh, no.
He's had it for years. He's kept it
I worked
renewed.
a couple of those, yeah.
Are they still active?
He's not active. He is not
But I
active.
mean, is a license
Yes,
still
yeah,
valid?
He
yes.
has
Yeah,
renewed
you
his
keep
license.
renewing
I didn't know that.
Every
Yeah.
10 years, he's the only novice that I know of.
Back when we had novices, they were non-renewable.
One
You had
year?
1 year.
1 year and that's
Yeah.
it, non-renewable.
You know, back then.
But then later
Now
they
it's
became
here.
renewable. Some
Yeah.
people have just been renewing
I
it
had
since,
no idea they were.
I don't know, the 70s, I guess. it
I've
was.
ran into them, just CW only guys. They don't care. That's all they want to do is work CW. They don't care
Yeah.
about upgrading to anything else.
I like him already.
Yeah, he's
Well, they have the same privileges a technician has.
right.
Yeah, right.
That's why I tell some of those guys that you have HF privileges.
So,
Really? Where? Oh, 40
On
meters,
CW,
15
yeah.
meters.
yeah.
Yeah, PCW, but-
15.
10 meters is really hot right now. That
Yeah.
used to be the incentive was getting on there the 10 meter DX, and it's like, oh yeah, I got to upgrade now. But
You don't get about 10 meters CW, there's no, flutter, you know, it's just like,
you don't get that. Yeah, that.
on it.
Well, for me, what I've been seeing is the multi-pathing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
getting it on from both sides coming across, you know, one over the
Yeah.
pole
Oh,
and
yeah,
one directly
yeah,
over.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it sounds like CW it sounds like you're working underwater. Bloop, 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 bloop. I hate it.
Oh, that's pretty weird.
Absolutely hate it.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, our total contacts 421.
Wow.
Points were 1,263. Multipliers 58. Total score 73,254.
That's impressive.
That is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you guys run the whole 24 hours?
No.
Solid?
No. We're old guys.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
Right there with you, brother.
We don't even do that on field day.
No, we used to.
We go to 11 and shut it off, and
John and I used to.
usually we're cleaning up a little before that.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah,
Yeah,
we've given that up.
we knocked that off and
Yeah,
John and I said, we like our sleep.
yeah,
heck yeah.
yeah.
And
So we've been doing it over here at the church. It's about a
couple
mile
years.
from here,
Yeah, it's easy. It's,
and
it's a good
in the
location.
parking lot there.
Yeah.
We just go till 11. We'll put it this way,
Well,
there hasn't been anybody operating when we shut down. You know, so, yeah, okay, we're probably not gonna win the West Coast.
we're not trying to win.
But-
I mean,
What the heck?
It's kind of like closing the bar, you know, if there's nobody else there, time to leave.
you got it. That's right.
So let's say, now what are
Turn
these,
off the light.
well, I think the, North American only goes 12 hours. One of them only goes 12 hours.
It's North America, I go 12. It's 12 hours.
Which one?
North America.
North America's 12 hours.
That's 12 hours.
But we just make the California also into 12 hours.
Yeah. It's doing anything.
By that time, we're done.
And my wife is not gonna be happy with me because I'm gonna take that thing home and I'm gonna put it right on. I guess I can put the headphones on, because I'm gonna start playing with that thing immediately.
Right.
I want to learn to use a bug, but the standard right-hand bug
It
was
just doesn't
not an
work for
option.
You
you.
can say,
This thing I can see
you
is
can
said
say,
left-handed?
you can say.
No, I'm right-handed, but when I first started, I had paddles, and it just didn't sound right to me, because normal paddles are wired the same as a bug.
Well, when you get home, just say,
Yeah, that's what I'll tell her. Hi.
yeah. Say hi, honey. Yeah.
That'll work well.
But because I switched my
Well, that's
paddles
actually
around.
good.
and
Well, you know,
it
what
felt right for me, so I'm
you're
gonna try it that way.
doing is perfect. You send with this hand and you
Right,
write with this.
right, or
with
type
that.
with the other hand. That is perfect.
But I am right-handed. I write right-handed.
When you write and send at the same time, that's.
Well, I
that's
can't,
good.
I'm gonna use it right-handed. That's the way I have my paddles wired. I
you
wired them
use it
backwards
right-handed?
because it made
I'm
more
getting
sense
out.
to my brain.
Yeah. You don't
And
get it
so-
up. Yeah.
I know
This-
left-handed people use standard bugs, but I've never
Well, I
heard of.
do. I use standard bug, right? Wait, I'm left-handed.
You're special. You were born with a
You know,
straight
I don't
keyboard.
understand why that would make a difference to you.
It doesn't. I mean, to me, that's all I
What's
knew.
that?
I didn't know any different.
Well,
Whether
it's
you're
your brain,
left-handed or
if your brain
right-handed,
only works one way.
Which side of the paddle you hit? I would think that
But I
it'd
got,
be the
I got
same.
pretty good.
What's the matter what you're used to, you're right.
It just didn't seem right having the dashes on the right-hand side and the dits on the left-hand, or the right and the
Yeah.
left. So I switched them around, wired them. Back in those days, you couldn't do it in the radio. You had to rewire everything.
Right.
So I rewired it, and it was like, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be.
To me, it's easier to rewire than to find the menu. And
Oh, man.
Yeah.
menus belong in restaurants, you know?
I am wearing that
Always felt that.
FTDX 5000. I'm wearing that manual out.
Now, I
Yeah.
do have a bug at home that was made by NTK, what was it called? WU, Terry. He's been gone 20 years now, but they can go either left or right, depending how I, set it up on the base.
So you got to change the springs around and everything, or
Oh, yeah. I just gotta move all the parts around.
yeah,
It can be left or
a
right.
convertible bug. That's
It is
pretty
a convertible
cool.
bug,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
just turn it upside
They haven't made
down.
those since the 60s.
You just make a
And I
little,
got
make a
a
little
feed shifter
box,
on
you
it,
can
yeah.
turn the whole mechanism upside down, then the left and right's
Yeah.
changed.
Well, MFJ makes one. They make a lefty, and if this works for me, I'm gonna buy one.
What kind of reports on it? What kind of reports did you get on it?
Everybody wants their money early. It says your
Yeah,
payment
well,
fee expires in less than 60 days.
oh.
What
Everybody
expires?
wants their money early for Zoom.
So, we never did get to find out.
Oh,
what we had to
yeah.
go for. Okay,
Anyway,
Oh, so we got club dues coming up too, don't we?
Yep.
yeah, it's
okay, bug roundup,
the
2
end of
weeks,
the year again.
so,
Bug roundup in 2
5
weeks.
o'clock, 4 o'clock, out of Friday the 17th.
Do you prefer that in like a PayPal thing, John, or can I just give you $20 right now so I don't?
Either way is
forget?
okay.
You want 20
Either
bucks?
way is okay.
I need 20 bucks.
That works. I just don't want to forget about it.
So I
That's fine.
usually wait till February 31st. 'cause
Now, if Mike were doing this, he'd write your call on the
your
$20
money.
bill.
Yeah, yeah.
I usually wait till the 31st of February, so you.
31st of February, huh?
Yeah. I'm trying to do it before that.
There I be.
That's
Alright.
like that's kind of like the 10th of never, right?
So Phil,
Oops, I spent all my money.
Your wife didn't do it for you? You have to work
A
on
little
that.
extra for the kitty too. If it ever comes to a point where, you know, the club needs something or whatever.
Our
you
treasury
just put that
is
out.
doing.
so far I don't have that
Okay,
problem.
good. Well, if it ever comes to a point where, for
You
whatever
need
reason.
donations.
Okay, Phil
You know?
and Jim.
And Jim. I can pay you now. I really don't.
Jim kicked in 30, okay?
Yeah, oh, man, you're generous. Great, man.
You gotta keep the, keep
Okay,
going
so
here.
2 so far.
Okay, Jim gave you 30, I'll give you a 10, how's that?
That works.
I like the way he thinks.
Yes, that's what you call forward creative thinking.
You know, in my younger days, I used to pride myself on being a capitalist.
Oh, I'm gonna ask you what you are now.
When I,
Oh, we're waiting for the
now,
punchline.
now I'm a mercenary.
What's that?
Capitalist to mercenary.
Oh, to mercenary, okay.
You like that? I like that. It's got a nice
A
ring
lot
to
of
it.
times they're one and the same.
I gotta work on getting
Yes.
back the
Synonym.
Zoom here.
Okay, so Jim, don't forget to take it home.
No, I'm not gonna forget to take it home.
You can't take the oscillator though.
No, I won't take the, can I use the cable or does that go with the oscillator, or does it
That
go?
goes with the oscillator.
All right.
You know,
I'll
that's
make
a
it
hard,
work.
pretty
That's
high
asking a little
tech
bit.
piece of apparatus
It
there,
is.
that cable.
I
It
can
really
take
is.
It's easy to make these things.
Oh, yeah.
I'll knock one out real
Just
quick.
need a phone jack.
Honey,
Yeah. Tommy, for your radio,
Alright,
the,
now.
Where's my box
Put
at?
on
Where is everybody?
a 12-volt battery.
They all go away?
Where can you find
maybe.
those stupid things? They all make
Is there
them
anybody
in
out
the
there?
stores, these little tiny ones, and they don't open up, and they don't, you know, they don't work. So I had to
Go to Amazon.
Well, I went to Harbor Freight.
All right, this concludes the meeting.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
can do that.
It's safely wrapped in bubble wrap, ready
Yeah,
for
you can
drinking.
do that.
Now, unfortunately,
Oh, you
they
don't
look
get
like
big
these
kids?
great
Find out.
big fancy jumper
Turn yourself
cables,
off.
right?
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
you
no,
use that with the,
Yeah,
you
plastic.
swap
I don't
batteries?
have like a unit. It's
Plastic
real big here.
around the
I don't use it.
contact is that big around.
5 minutes to go to the sleep.
Tiny wire down the middle.
You use that thing for
And
the 40
it's
meter swap
aluminum
battery?
wire
Yeah,
that's been flash
man.
plated with copper.
Boy,
Use
I'll
that
tell you
for
what.
everything.
Copper glass.
Yeah.
Now, where's
You,
my,
I've never heard you miss a lick yet either. That
Oh,
thing
look
must
at
look
that.
pretty
But I
darn
had
good.
to, I had
Where's
to
my end
shave
of
the
meeting?
thing down with an X-Acto knife
Huh?
to get it to go into an Anderson power pole connector because they were so fast.
Yeah. Well, again, I would look on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh,
I know they got them.
yeah. Well, I made it work, so I don't need one now.
You know, I bought all kinds of little tiny IC